Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, we done had a whole show before we even went live, man. We just been rapping. It's been a while. What's the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show, where we deal with no hand holding, facts, not emotion. I'm your host, chedda-chaz. I got my dog, Jesse Dez with me. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm good, dog. How you been today, bro? It's
Oh
it's it's
man,
it's a very eventful day going on right now. Seem like it at least.
it seemed like it, bro. You know, when some of these things come out, what was that with you, dog? What up, my dog Michael Morgan in the super chat early? He said, "What's good, fellas? Crazy how people are taking Bill Simmons' opinion as gospel." He said he assumes, and people ran with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. E dog, Trey, what's the deal? Don Guillory in the building, what's happening? You know, to Michael Morgan's point, and I deal with this at least 2, 3 times a year when stuff comes out. And there's two words that really be whooping people ass, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Is would and
Yes,
could,
yes,
right? Right.
yes.
Or like, and here's another word: expect. Like
Expect.
people will be like, I expect the Pelicans are going to check in on this person, or some person. This person could be interested in that person.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, reading
You know the
comprehension
one
is
that that
vital.
that bothers me is like
What's that?
highly likely.
Yeah,
Like
highly likely. It's like, come on, man.
yeah,
Now, to Bill Simmons' point, Trey's name, what up with Louisiana Gal, Clarence in the building, Josh, what's happening with y'all, man? Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all join in as well. The thing that's crazy now, I did speak to someone recently. In fact, I talked to a couple people who have said that they do believe there's some smoke there, right?
mm,
Um, but with the way this front office operates, everything is super duper close to the vest. And I don't think they would let information like that out, especially not to a Bill Simmons necessarily.
mm-hmm.
But also, I'll say, I'm curious as to what indications has Joe Dumas shown or given that any of these dudes are available for a trade. I'm just asking, like, generally, because I haven't seen any.
That's a listen. That's a the when I say that might be the biggest point or the greatest point, because other than like when they got in late last season, right? So they
Mhm.
felt like they had to make a lot of moves to kind of salvage some shit, to kind of like shake the team up a little bit. They make the pool deal. They wanted Sadiq. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
wanted Derek, so they had to make some moves to be able to get back into the draft.
Mhm.
Right, the draft didn't quite fall the way they thought it might fall when the lottery came out. So they were more aggressive last season, right?
Mhm.
Going into the season, everybody was like, "Oh, this team about to sell. They about to sell. They about to sell." And then at the trade deadline, they moved Jose. That was it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So not really much of nothing. I'm not saying that they don't intend to be aggressive, but
Right.
there hasn't been any, like they haven't been around long enough for there to actually be a track record for how they're going to proceed with this team. So like
Yeah.
so so to your point, it's like what indication that they said that Trey's available or Zion's available. And lastly, before I pass it back to you, you know who's like the problems with this, I guess? The
Who's that?
media, when they ask, well, how's Zion? Y'all motherfuckers ain't think to ask about Trey?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be real. They ain't think to act shit for the, for the most part. Like, for example, watching the Dumas presser that you're referencing the other day. Shout out to Mason in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. And
Thanks.
he asked again. He asked. Well, the question was asked again of Joe Dumas. Like, so you still feel the same about Zion? He was like, yeah, we still feel the same about him. Like moving forward with Zion, I would love to see Mosley coach Zion. Also, they want to win. You know what I'm saying? They want to win.
Mhm.
Then getting to the point where, from what I was told not too long ago, the offers that came in for some of those guys, be it Trey, be it Herb Jones, be it Zion, they weren't good offers. So I think people might be overestimating what returns will look like this offseason for not just those guys, but for a lot of guys. Like even with Giannis, I
Yeah,
don't think Giannis is going to get this. I don't think Giannis is going to get the Donovan
that break
Mitchell,
the
Rudy
bank kind of
Gobert.
deal.
Yeah, I don't even get the Karl Anthony Towns deal. Like, I just
Mhm.
don't think that's going to happen. I think this is a buyer's market for everyone, truthfully. And like, and we talked about this a little bit. Like, people reference Desmond Bain, right? And like that trade. I think that's not an apples to apples comparison,
Scenario.
right? Desmond Bain was the second or third best player on a team that had been consistently winning, especially when they were healthy. That's not Trey at this point. I don't think that Trey would net that kind of return. If he did, great. If he was to be traded. No, I don't think either one of us advocated for him to be traded. And I think it's also very important that I say this. I hope the fan base doesn't take their player or one of their favorite players being in rumors out on that player. Like, Trey hasn't outwardly requested a trade. Trey isn't he's not the one putting his name in rumors. Herb's not the one putting his name in rumors. Zion's not the one putting his name in rumors. This is all like, talking head content. So don't take it out on the players, and don't turn on the players or be frustrated with the players. That would be my request if I could ask someone.
I just fully agree. I think part of it is when Trey is on the shows, like he just was on 520 not long ago. Trey didn't do really a great job of like Zion, regardless if they trade him or not. Zion always like, I love New Orleans. I want to stay in New Orleans. But you know what I mean? Like, he just constantly reaffirms at least that part of it. Trey, on the other hand, seems a little more business-like, which is fine, to be honest. Like, because it's not like you control it. You just signed the deal and whatnot.
Right.
So, like, for Trey hasn't come out, like you said, and outwardly said, hey, I want to be traded.
What's up,
at the same time, I'm of the mindset that, like, again, I like Trey, but I personally think we need to upgrade so much that, like, I think you could get better by moving off a Trey. Like, to be honest, like,
what would be an ideal scenario? I mean, because I agree. Let's take a star level player off the table, right?
Okay.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're not trading Trey for, like, let's just say, I'm just throwing the name out there, say Donovan Mitchell, right? What's a trade that you think makes the Pelicans better in the short term and also could play out well for them in the future?
I personally go, like, first I'm calling. So here's the thing too. What does your team want to look like? That's first. So, like, example would be if let's say Detroit, right? Let's say Detroit calling.
Okay.
In a trade deal, I can't leave without a Asor in that deal.
Asor Thompson? Ooh.
Yeah. And I personally don't feel like Asor is a star, but if I'm talking about trade and Trey, like, my deal starts with that player. If I can't get at least that player, like, I don't really think we have that much of a deal, in my opinion, moving with, like, a team like that. Because while Asar is, potential upside, I think Trey right now is significantly better than that player.
Is he more impactful than Asar, do you think?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think if you put Trey in the Asar role, like, it's not going to be defensively, but what he's going to do for that team offensively, and I think they could make up the defensive side, like the shooting and spacing that is going to give Cade, how much relief it'll give to Duren or something like that. I think that was my next one, the one Louisiana gal posted. If you go, like, to go towards OKC, that's actually what I had queued up. OKC, you need 12, 17. Joe brings you shooting at 11. And you got a couple people. Like, honestly, I know how you feel about Mitchell, but I kind of want Mitchell. Wallace does a lot for you too. Like, there's a bunch of options. Yeah, Case and Wallace. There's a bunch of options at OKC. Honestly, OKC probably a net you the best return, and realistically, they could do it and not give a fuck about what they give up, because
OKC
they have
has a lot of future draft assets.
They have so many assets to where, like, and they don't really need much anyway. So
the thing with OKC, the thing with OKC, and which is interesting, is that for OKC in particular, is like you got other teams as draft picks. Like if I was to just go to, hold on one second, let me share this screen. If I was to just go to some of their future draft capital, it's a lot of other
Crazy.
people's shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got Dallas's
Crazy.
future pick. They got who's this? I'm sorry. The Denver picks protected 1 through 5. So that could end up somewhere in the 20s. Who knows? Unless Denver decides to take a gap year, which I don't think they will. The LA swap rights could be something weird. Who knows? San Antonio Spurs protected 1 through 16. So let's just say that's 17 and beyond. The most valuable pick, in my opinion, would be this 28 swap rights with Dallas, because that seems to be unprotected, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
they have capital to make things happen. The only issue with that is like it gets to a point where you make the other team so, I won't say so good, but
Good.
make the other team good to the point where the return is mitigated. Or like, and truthfully, if I was OKC, I'd be calling about Zion. I wouldn't necessarily be calling about Trey. I would be calling about Zion, right? Because I do think you could get I think Trey has the more replaceable skill set in the short term. The reason why I wouldn't necessarily be thrilled with this return is because, I mean, if it's the best return you could get, I think you would have to take it, right? But the reason I wouldn't necessarily be thrilled with that return is because Isaiah Joe is 6'4".
He's a little old. How old?
I don't even know how old he is, but he's 6'4". No, he's 26. So that's a non-starter for me. 26-year-old, 6'4" guy. Shoots the ball incredibly, right? But there's no upside there.
Rotational piece that you need. We talk about Gillespie. Gillespie is a rotational piece.
Yeah, Gillespie is a rotational piece, but Gillespie free agent. I ain't have to give up nothing. Because my thing would be I need to add more talent and add more shooting. Like,
So
even
let me push back, right? Real quick. So let's say that's the deal we're talking about. Case and Wallace, hypothetically, well, not hypothetically, that motherfucker just made all defense, right? And he has some upside. I think
pay him pretty soon. Ball,
yeah. But I think Kaysen got some upside. Let's say you throw Isaiah Joe off the bench as your shooter off the bench. But if 12 comes in at like, or if we package 12 and 17 and went up, or if like let's say at 12 you got Cameron Carr, and at 17 you got Chris Sinek or something like that, and then you had future assets as well. You know what I mean? Not you look at kind of reassembling your team in a way that like it's more long term. Like, you know what I mean? You might not have the deal right now in front of you, but how soon can Cameron Carr be Trey Murphy or as good as production wise?
I think with trades, just like when I was talking about Herb Jones to the Lakers, hypothetically, people are like, well, that's an overpay, 2 firsts, and let's say Lavaria and someone else, Theo, I think is his name, for trade. I mean, I'm sorry, for Herb Jones. People like to overpay. We're just like, no, when your team desperately needs something and you feel like you're this thing away from competing, you're more inclined to pay. Kind of like the Michael. If they felt like they were a Michael away, that's why that deal was made.
Yeah.
Orlando, we need shooting desperately. Desmond Bane, awesome player. That's why we were inclined to pay. I think if you're the Pelicans and you were looking at need, see, aside, and we're gonna get to this guy, aside from Chet, they don't really have a ton that I need, because I mean future picks, but I own all of my own picks. And I got the Milwaukee pick, I think. But also, like, when I look at how this postseason played out and where the league is trending as far as getting bigger and stronger, OKC got a bunch of short motherfuckers, like a bunch of short guys who just got played off the court. And that's like they have a redundancy that I think a team like the Pelicans can't really afford to
You don't think
repeat.
that we can maximize it the way OKC maximizes it?
Yeah, like for example, Shea, hands
Incredible.
down to me MVP. Like dude cold, right? Had two rough series in a row, but hands down best player in the NBA right now to me. I don't know that Zion's that. Well, I do know. Fuck, I mean, I don't know.
We
Zion's
know he's not that level.
Yeah, Zion's not that. When you have a guy like Shea or Prime Giannis or Jokic, the pieces around me are interchangeable. LeBron, pieces around me interchangeable. You just got to grab Superman cape and we're going to figure this out. Whereas with the Pelicans, like in the proposed trade that was floated, because that's something I think I saw Bill Simmons. I think I saw Bill Simmons reportedly say something along those lines as well. It's like I'm trading my one tall guy who can shoot. Now, here's the thing. Now, Trey is 6'10", but until he becomes a rebounder defender and can give you some small ball 5 minutes, he might as well be 6'4". Like until he could play up positionally. But I'm trading him for like AJ Mitchell 6'4", look 6'3", Wallace 6'3". It's just tough with those guys, man.
I'm just torn though, because when I watch us play OKC, respectfully, we don't look like we belong on the floor. Everybody looks small. Everybody look like Trey looked just as small and frail and weak. And respectfully, I'm not trying to say it in like diminish his game or nothing like that, but like there's times where I watch our team, and when I think about just some of the needs that we have, and not even really sure, like, because we have other pieces outside of Trey that you're trying to use to like mold the team as well.
Yeah.
So this, like when we talking specifically with the Trey trade, it's kind of like how far ahead, because I see, some people's like, well, look, if you trade Trey, that's taking a step back. And it's kind of like, step back from what?
To me, I guess it depends on, do you think the staff under-delivered this year, or do you think the coaching has under-delivered this year? Right?
I definitely think the coaching.
I'm sorry, I meant the players. I'm sorry, the players or the coaching, because
I think it's twofold.
Yeah, for example, let's say they won, hypothetically speaking, let's say they won 20 games, right? But the talent on the roster probably should have won 36. This hypothetically speaking, right? Yeah. That's, to me, that's a hell of a gap, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if it was like, no, they probably should have won about 20 games.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, now we got to have a different conversation because now the talent is nowhere near close. That's why I think with a Trey move, I think if you do move him, it can't even be a lateral move unless you got a bunch of draft capital in return, which I don't think they'll get. But it would have to be, I hate to use this term because of the racial connotations to it, but it's like you have to go buy with Trey, in my opinion. You can't sell that player, in my opinion, because the return just won't really do anything, in my opinion. I see Nate Ament and Sanak, but again, that's two guys who got, to me, two very questionable guys. Like, according to a couple people who work with Chris, there's very, very questionable players, both projected kind of be like projects. And you get to a point where it's like, I can't play and develop all of these niggas. These are a lot of niggas. Like, you still got Jeremiah Fish, you got Queen, you got Peavy, you got, let's say you did get Nate and Chris and that.
That's what's four motherfuckers. Another thought is, what do Joe and them feel the timeline is? Like, again, because, for example, I'm not saying that VJ Edgecombe could replace Trey, right? But if you threw VJ Edgecombe in the lineup, like, that motherfucker 6'4" and gave you probably more than what you would have got from Trey. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thought, if we would have said ahead of the draft, right? We trading Trey Murphy for VJ Edgecombe, like whatever pick they're gonna take VJ Edgecombe and some other future stuff. You'd be like, there's no way you could trade Trey Murphy for VJ Edgecombe. But then you see VJ come out and look the way he looked, and then you be like, well, maybe
I think there's one major caveat.
Right.
They got 2 players on that team that when they healthy, that they like top 10 NBA players in Maxey and Embiid when they're healthy.
Right.
Pelicans don't got that. So it's like, so with VJ, it's like starting the season, VJ was running away with the Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then Conker Nipple came up, then Cooper Flag, then Fears had a run, Derek Queen had a short run. But VJ maintained being a very quality guy as a young backcourt player. But that's also a huge team. When Joel Embiid plays, Joel Embiid, a big motherfucker. Paul George, when he plays, he's a large 2-3 guard. Kelly Oubre got some size, Quentin Grimes. That's a very talented team. And Tyrese Maxey, an all NBA caliber guy. Whereas again, if you got a guy that's like Jokic, for example, I think Jamal Murray's incredible, right? But Jokic probably would be like,
he made Jamal,
like Jamal's great. We complement each other perfectly, but it wouldn't be a major steep drop off if I got like a guy who was a tier below Jamal because I'm so great.
Yeah, because Joker's still there.
Right. Whereas with the Pelicans, I think until we see a level of greatness from Zion that's just so like otherworldly, this is a sum of your parts team. In my opinion, like you need to be in talent acquisition mode because I think once the Pelicans do decide to tear it down, you're talking about like a 10-year rebuild anyway. Like in my opinion.
I hadn't even looked at this. But obviously the team is better when Trey plays, but I'm very interested to see what would happen, like what the team looked like when Trey wasn't on the floor. I don't even remember. I have to go back and watch some of those games because
I'm pretty sure they lost them all.
It was losing. They were losing.
That's the thing. It was like that's the thing. I was like, they didn't win at all. So it was like,
you was losing.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say like where he fit into the losing in that scenario. But
I'll say this. I know for me, I told you how I felt about what it would take for me to move Trey, right? For me to move Trey, I would need a blue chipper for sure.
Yeah.
Like again, if Ace was available, even if like I would take Ace and stuff because I just believe that Ace would higher ceiling, you know what I mean? I just think rookie contract, give you more flexibility. And I think in a year or two, he'll either be there or better, right? So I need a blue chipper or I need the flexibility, which is kind of what the OKC pick do for you, or the OKC proposition does for you to say, okay, I can make some moves, or to your point as well, you go get a guy. But that requires like who's the guy?
Honestly, it doesn't do a lot for you flexibility wise as far as cap. It kind of gives you more
options.
It gives you more depth. Like for example, like Carson. Hold on, I'm sorry to take your question down. I'm gonna share the screen real quick. And that's another thing because you have to value the roster spots. Of course, it wouldn't be like the Pelicans aren't necessarily taking back more players than this in and out in some of these trades. But let's say for
Trey Hawk.
Yeah, you're probably talking about some combination of those guys. And also OKC can't aggregate salaries as a second apron team. But so let's just say this is the Pelicans cap sheet right here, right? So Pelicans cap sheet, they're about 12 million. Once they waive Kevon Looney, they'll be close to what's that? About 12 million away from the luxury tax. Now here's OKC's cap sheet. So let's say you was taking back Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe's making 11. Casey Wallace is making 7. So that puts you at 18 right there. Plus Casey Wallace is due for an extension soon. I know some people threw like Nicole in there. So let's just say he's in there. Let's call it 23, maybe 24. Like, you got to pay all these motherfuckers. Then you got 2 draft picks who are first round picks that are going to be like guaranteed contracts. So you ain't got no money now. Now you also gotta. That's why, like with some of the trades, like with Bill Simmons in particular, it's like I know he's not familiar with like the Pelicans cap situation. Yeah. So some of the things, just like, what would work? Like just what would work on paper. And it's like, well, once you get into the details, a lot of that shit wouldn't even work.
Yeah,
just because like
realistic.
Yeah, and to me, it's like from
looking at Herb and Cam Johnson, that's a tough deal to make happen.
Yeah, like it would be easier for the Pelicans to do it, but again, like let's say you was trying to do Herb for Cam, right? It would really have to be like Herb, and hopefully they would take Hawkins for Cam, because
you got to hit it right on the number because of where they at with their cap situation.
Yeah, and it's like, but the fucked up part is the only incentive for them to do a Herb for Cam trade would be, we're trying to clear our books of some money, right? We're trying to get some money off the books. And it's like, all right, cool. And we need defense. All right, cool. But once I start throwing Hawkins in there, it's like, all right, well, fuck. Like now that negated us clearing our books a little bit. And like, it's like, that's why I say, honestly, the Pelicans are in better position to buy than they are to sell, because they don't have a lot of guys who I think would net them a high return, but they have their own draft capital as well as Milwaukee's capital for next year. And you got expiring salary and contracts. So I think they would be better suited to go get a distressed asset versus someone come to them and say, hey, we're going to give you some young guys who are going to be stuck on your books for a couple years.
As we look around, and again, man, I think this playoffs did exactly what we talked about it was going to do. As soon as, like, when teams lose, everybody, like, the regular season is one thing. When teams lose in the playoffs, all of those teams have to just relook at everything. Like Cleveland got to reevaluate. Detroit got to reevaluate. Orlando got to reevaluate. OKC been the best team all season, and people talking about they got to recap. If the Spurs go to the finals and get 4-1, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People gonna be talking about what they now do. They become a player for Trey Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Depending on
Spurs.
Yeah, depending on what it looked like. You get what I'm like. Every time a team loses, we add more desperation, more options.
And it's just, honestly, OKC really ain't got it. Like OKC is a healthy postseason away from being back at the finals. Like and
that's how I go though.
But I think people feel that way more so because of their cap situation, and not necessarily because that they lost. Because I think most people believe that OKC would have won that series. But I think because of the cap situation, that's like, because now y'all...
It's exactly like Boston after Boston.
Yeah, it's just like Boston. It's like, look, all that shit is cute when people are making... all that shit cute when you're on a rookie scale deal.
Yes.
Now that I got to make a real decision about this, it becomes ugly. Like, for example, they above the second apron, if I'm not mistaken, by 40 million. Now you can go ahead and just decline Hartenstein, decline Dort, decline Kendrick, and that'll get you where you need to be. Maybe you bring all those guys back for cheap. But now you got to have some foresight, because AJ Mitchell got to get paid soon. I think Jared McCain played better than AJ Mitchell, because I don't think AJ really did.
I think AJ got like 2-3 years left at $3 million.
But you got to make a decision soon, because if he keep playing like this, you ain't gonna wait till the last year before you extend him. You're gonna be like, let me lock this motherfucker up before this become a Jalen Brunson situation. Now I really can't afford him. And you got Chet money kicking in, and Chet money, boy. I wish I knew Chet. I wish I knew Chet and we was partners. Chet money is ridiculous. Right?
Chet locked in too, boy.
And that's why it's like they're in a weird spot to where they really don't need to do any significant changes, but like you would need J-Dub to stay healthy, which is proven to be a task. You would need Chet to not be a disaster offensively, which is like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying?
But now they sitting there like we got to retool everything. So I
think that's really just, honestly, I bet if you could really like just talk to Presti and talk to a couple of those guys, I bet you they'll just say, we got lucky last year, this year we caught a bad break. Because
I believe you.
Because they're a Halliburton Achilles tear from not having a ring at all, probably.
Yeah, I agree.
And this year they're
evening it out.
Yeah, this year they're J-Dub hamstring from going back to the finals. Like, whereas in the East kind of was like, if you want to say maybe Tatum and Embiid being hurt, like kind of fucked it up. But the East had more of a clear pathway, more or less. Whereas the West, to me, the West wide open, dog. Like, look, we've had 9 different NBA champions in the last 9 years or so, regardless of how people really feel about the bubble championship. That's a decade of no dynasties. Yeah. And the only team that repeated, if I'm not mistaken, and me and you talked about this, was
Golden
Boston.
State no, they ain't even repeat. They lost.
No, I meant like went to the finals.
Went back to the finals a second time. Yes.
Because people talk all
in Miami. If you consider they didn't win either, but they went twice.
Yeah, in Miami, right? People talk all about these windows and these. It's like, bro, a dynasty starts at 3 championship wins. That's a 3 championship wins in a row is a dynasty.
Some of these going to 3 and winning 2.
Yeah, at least going to 3, winning 2. Golden State never won 3 in a row, right? So it's like, I think people are really overestimating like where these things go. Like, as far as I thought people saying dumb shit like, why even bother? You know, the West is about to be sewn up for years. It's like, you realize OKC didn't play Luka. Like, you realize Ant was injured, Dante was injured, Ayo was injured. Like, the West to me is wide the fuck open.
Bro, listen, you a Wemby suspension away for the elbow to the neck. You a Wemby suspension away for something being, not saying that they win that series, but what if De'Aaron Fox don't return? Not saying that Fox was incredible, but that little bit helped. I just think it's anything can happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Forward. Like Luka was really, I'm not even a Lakers guy, but I love Luka. Like, dog, Luka was on that fucking tear to end the season. And then hamstring.
And it was crazy. I was talking about Luka versus Phoenix. Like,
wait, what?
I'm talking about Luka with Dallas versus Phoenix, and Luka just busted Phoenix. Again,
Phoenix was the returning and got pieced
Orlando
up
3-1.
When Detroit Phoenix make the deal for KD, Phoenix make the deal for KD. Booker was like, "We got all this firepower. I ain't never been, can't get out the second round. Got blasted by 50 in the closeout game." So we could say the Spurs are gonna be the one thing we know about the NBA right now. You gotta capitalize. You have to put yourself
the window this small, bro,
in the position to be ready to capitalize when your moment comes. Now, I'm not saying that moving Trey moves you closer to that window or moves you further away from that window. I just know, again, to Joe's credit, they listen. We gotta consider everything.
You got to.
You got to consider everything.
You got back-to-back seasons with less than 60 wins. Everything got to be on the table.
Yeah, and as much as we love Trey, and I'm not saying move Trey, but how much does Trey really move the needle? Now, granted, I do think there's other players that we need to address in that scenario as well, but that's the one they calling for. Of course, we got what you got.
Yo, let me shout out Louisiana Gal. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. I'm about to pull all y'all comments up. Louisiana Gal said moving trade wouldn't be the only potential move. I heard they discussing a couple 2-for-1 deals to clear up money. You can see Poole, Herb, and DeJounte move for smaller contracts. Now, if their plan is we're going to take a step back to take a larger step forward, I'm like, that could be something because you'll never know until you ultimately see it played out. But it's like, again, what's your goal in the short term? Like, I know they don't care about shit like this, but fan enthusiasm is at an all-time low. People not really giving the benefit of the doubt. I think another non-winning year could lead to a crazy level of apathy.
I actually think if they go the route of take a step back or like a soft rebuild, right? People would be like, finally. Now they would just be like, you got to move Z. You know what I'm saying? That would be the like if you move Trey, people gonna be like calling for Zion, right? Like calling for you to move Z. But I think they just be playing their cards until you can hit.
If I'm OKC, bro, I'm saying no. I need a Zion type player. I don't necessarily need a Trey type player. I need a Zion type player because I need an on-ball creator. I need a downhill threat on-ball creator. Even though Mitchell didn't have a great series, he's the only other person that can really create with the ball in his hands. It's like it was J-Dub didn't really play, so let's take him out. But it was like, whoa, what up, Nightwall? It was like Shea, Mitchell, Caruso, and then it get like weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't like that trade for them, but I will say everything should be on the table. But I think people are totally underestimating the length of a rebuild because you would have to consider that if Jeremiah, like I think Jeremiah Fizz is going to be a very good player. If Jeremiah Fizz isn't first 2-team all NBA caliber,
you gotta look like Ja in them first couple years.
You gotta be
that only got you the second round.
You gotta be undoubtedly incredible, right? And I don't even mean just to win. You gotta be undoubtedly incredible to be like,
we're gonna make a move.
I gotta build. I can build around this guy now. Like the team gonna be good sooner than later because Shea was immediately good, and then they would just shut him down. But he was always very, very good. Like for OKC, then they would just shut him down. Of course, the Wemby injuries and shit in the league, that's what happened with San Antonio. We ain't gotta say too much, but we know what happened with San Antonio.
But got it's a great stimulus package.
Yeah, put it that way. Pelicans is like, what you think? You would have. Go ahead.
Let me throw in this is my conspiracy theory hat. That's why I wore it. Do you think, similar to how they was like the league, Dallas did the solid for the league. That's how Cooper ended up in Dallas with the number 1 pick. Do you think that the league did us the solid, right? And they made sure that pick didn't happen in the motherfucking lottery. Do you think that there's like, listen, Joe, go ahead and move Trey. We're gonna look out for you in the future. Nah. Like, we're gonna go ahead and move Trey. Play your season out. Y'all gonna be a middling season. We got 2 lottery picks for you on the back end.
Nah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that.
Not necessarily that, but you know what I mean. Like, is the league about to look out for Joe them for like making any of these moves?
I'll tell you why I don't think that. Right? Because I'm not gonna say that, but I don't think that. Because to me,
throw you the last piece of the theory. There's no legitimate reason to move Trey and keep Z like long term, unless the league is saying, I need Zion in New Orleans.
I think, of course, the league did you a solid when you got them 2 number 1 picks, right? I think I'm sure the NBA would love New Orleans to continue to have a team, and they want the best for the organization. And I think Adam Silver, I talk a lot of shit about him, but I think he's doing a great job with parity in the NBA because, again, 9 different champions, that's exactly what people wanted. And that he's doing a great job for his parity because every fan base feel like they have a chance. But I don't think they're that hands-on with it because ultimately, Trey not a superstar, right? Trey not a star, right? He's a high-level role player right now. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, if Adam Silver cared about that, and I'm like, you got your priorities fucked up because you need to be looking at Terry Rozier. And
you know what he do? He send his ass to LA and go ahead and give Luka that stimulus package. Then you might have something.
You see, that's the thing too. I was like, if Trey was like a Luka level player, then I would be like, well, maybe. But I don't think Adam Silver really cared where Miles Bridges gets traded. And I think that's kind of the tier of player trades, like Miles Bridges type tier. Yeah. But I also think, as it pertains to that pick, I mean, look, there's a good chance pick 8 in this draft could be better than Derek, right? Honestly, and there's probably, and that was, there's a good chance that pick could have landed at 13. It probably could be better than Derek. That's why when people say stuff like well, oh man, you traded pick 4. It's like, you don't know who the fuck pick 4 is. If pick 4 ended up being Caleb Wilson and someone just fell in love,
you just never know.
Yeah, like if somebody, let's say let's say Memphis, they're like, Ja, you the fuck out of here. We going with a cuff. We drafted a cuff. That's our dog. And Caleb Wilson sitting there at 4, about to go to Chicago. You were like, hey, this a bitch. If we could have had pick 4. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's not a knock against Derek. That's just like these draft picks are predictable that I think the league would just have to know that this guy's going to pan out. And I don't know if they got their fingerprints on it like that. Pause. But I did want to speak about Chet because that's the homie who we talked about a little bit. Old Chet. So Chet making a lot of money. Chet is making a lot of money, and he needs to Chet. Come on the show, bro. Break bread, man. Because I've been on here defending you a little bit. Not really, but now look, Chet had one of the worst postseasons I've ever seen. Right?
Listen, I don't understand. I personally, when the All NBAs came out and Chet was on the All NBA, I openly was like,
we didn't understand third team.
Like why over. Even Ant not being allowed to be on, I was like, so he made it over Karl Anthony Towns? I forgot the other names that I had listed at the time, but it was like 3 or 4 people that I just was like, obviously deserve to be on over Chet. And I like Chet.
The things that bothers me, right? Well, I respect what Wemby, like, again, I don't think the world of Wemby as like a per se, but I appreciate his quest for greatness and him putting that work in. Chet still has not gained weight, really. And when you talk about certain players, like even with Trey, because he had the injury, he had gained some weight at some point, and I've been told this offseason he put on some weight. But it's like with Zion until recently, with Trey, with Herb, with guys like Chet, it's like, bro, why do you have to hit rock bottom to a certain degree before you start doing the right thing? Like if Chet don't come into this, if he don't go get on that motherfucking Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger diet and get some of that secret stuff this offseason, and he come into the season looking how he looked, it's like, oh, you gonna be fooled because it takes a lot mentally to overcome somebody dominating you physically. And I think that's what you've seen with Chet.
I think Chet has been in such a fortunate situation. You got to think his rookie season, he got hurt. They missed the whole season. Ever since Chet been back, they've been the 1 seed. You know what I mean? Or like Yeah, they've been the 1 seed because even when they lost to Dallas, they were the 1 seed. They came back the following year, won the championship as the 1 seed. They was the 1 seed this year, and you know, a game 7 away from being there again and possible. So I don't think realistically, it's not to say they haven't faced any form of adversity, but like Chet hadn't really had he hadn't like Wemby had the grind like
Chet probably got like 2 memorable postseason games in his career.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in his career.
But
but all you need is like 1 or 2 of them bitches, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but when you a top 3 pick, well, I think he was what, number 2?
He was 2.
You was the number 2 pick. You got paid like a big dog, like the champion you are. You're the hell of a defensive player, and you're all NBA third team, which I find interesting. But hey, whatever, right? But that being said, it's like, and now what? You know what I mean? Like, and now what? If are you replaceable? Yes. Would you be more beneficial to a team that doesn't necessarily have championship aspirations? Probably.
Yes.
Like,
I would take Chet today.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. Like, for example, do you think, looking at how that game panned out, do you think they would have rather the OKC, if they can go back in time, do you think they would say, knowing what we know, we would rather have Sadiq Bey than Chet right now, just for this series?
Probably.
Because it's like Chet didn't even try. And that's something you can't get over.
Yeah.
A motherfucker that's just like.
Let me ask you this. Do you think they would have rather have Messi than I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I think you would rather have somebody. Shout out to Chet, no disrespect.
Yeah.
You would rather have a motherfucker like watching Chet's game, and I watched Chet for a few years, but watching Chet game, it's like, bro, you get your shot gas is way too slow. It's not an efficient shot. You miss free throws. You're not necessarily a rim deterrent. You can't back down smaller players, and you can't like blow past larger defenders. Chet is a very system-driven player right now.
Chet shot 2 shots in game 7.
Yeah, at home. So it's like, now here's the pros to something like that, though. Shout out to Chet. Here's the pros, right? Because Chet got a ring, and he was a part of them getting that ring, so I gotta respect his mind.
Thanks.
Like, he wasn't just some guy. Like, he was
he defensively throughout the season. Defensively, he is one of the anchors for them. He does allow him and Hartenstein allows OKC to play that aggressive style of defense that they play. Chet is like, defensively, he's more valuable than what he brings to you offensively. But he does, he could shoot the 3, he could put it on the floor. He does have things to his game. So I ain't gonna just shit on Chet like trash. But like,
So if there was a world, right? Let's say, damn boy, Chet,
ridiculous.
Chet something else. Let's Chet something else, boy. Let's say, because it's like, damn, you played 32 games last year. But so let's say there is a world where Chet is hypothetically available, right?
Okay.
And what's funny is, if you're the Pelicans, just hypothetically, Chet make $41 million, right? I gotta look and see exactly what Trey makes.
27.
Let's say Trey make 27. Hypothetically, I think the Pelicans are far enough. Let's say OKC clear up all their luxury tax and second April issues. Hartenstein's decline, Luke Dort's decline, all of that, right? Let's say they came to you and say, all right, look, check this out. We know you need a center, and this is gonna lead into another question. You need a center, right? I don't think Chet's a center, but let's say you need a center. Give us Trey Murphy for Chet today. No picks, Trey Murphy for Chet today, are you doing that trade? The Pelicans have just enough space below the luxury tax where they could do that, if I'm not mistaken, and not be in the tax. That boy got think.
Gun to my head, probably so.
Okay. No picks, nothing.
No picks, nothing. I say yes. One, because Chet a better player both sides than Trey.
You think better offensively than Trey?
It's hard. So I'll say this: it's tough to really judge. For me, it's tough to judge because I ain't seen Chet have to do, like, we judging Chet against Wemby in the motherfucking
right.
finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't seen Chet have to go
get it out the mud.
You have to go be the number 2 on a bad team. Like, do I think Chet could ball out in the regular season? Chet defensively, say what we want.
He's a hell of a defender.
Chet defensively is probably equivalent to Trey's offense.
Now, how much of that do you think is systemic? Like, you got these incredibly physical defenders. You playing next to a big like Hartenstein, and we just gonna funnel you into our big.
I'll say I remember OKC before Chet, and while they were a good team, they weren't like just significant. They didn't look significantly better than everybody. Like, Chet helped make them look, to me, significantly better than everybody.
I ain't doing that with no picks. But here's the thing.
Who getting the picks?
That's the thing.
I'm OKC,
here's the thing.
I need picks.
Wait, so if you OKC, you asking for picks?
No, listen. No, Chet was the only reason, in my opinion, that is crazy is because like Chet then got paid, right?
Right.
So like that's the only issue. But like, Chet was the number 2 overall pick. Chet was in the college championship. Chet.
That don't mean nothing.
No, I'm saying Chet right now is significantly more decorated. I understand. I think, like, again, what Chet does for you defensively, I personally think that, and I like, this sounds like I'm about to shit on Trey. I'm not. I like Trey. I think Trey is replaceable.
Okay.
Like, I think I could get what Trey does.
Right.
Even if it's got to be like a sum of their parts. I think I could get what Trey does. It's really hard to go get what Chet does. A 7-foot stretch defender, like, AD of like, bro, we comparing Chet to like Wemby, Anthony Davis. And I'm not, even if he's lesser than them, Karl Anthony Towns, let's say he's lesser than all of the great bigs. That's fine. We talking about Trey.
I think people got less of an issue because some of it's recency bias, right? I think people got, and shout out to everybody in the building. We got 206 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Much love to y'all. I think a lot of it's recency bias, but I also think the reason why it's a conversation is more so because of what people perceive the need for OKC to be and Chet's contract. Like, if Chet and Trey was on the same contract, I think people would be like, nah, I'm not trading Chet for Trey. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Agree.
Like, you're going to at least give him the benefit of the doubt, right? But I think because the contract gets so ugly and that money about to kick in immediately, and he was so unbelievably worse than Ben Simmons bad. Like, if this was the worst I've ever seen. People talk about Ben. This was the worst I've ever seen. Like, he just totally choked in a moment. I think people just like, nah, you got to get the fuck. But that's the thing, too. And I wanted to bring this up as well. Shout out to T5 the Great. Man, we only got 35 likes. Hold on. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Hit the like button, man. Let's get the likes up to at least 60, 70. Like, what are we doing? We're going to take this quick commercial break. Y'all hit the like button. Now, shout out to Louisiana Girl. Louisiana Girl said J-Dub will get moved before Chet. And the crazy thing is, I would do that deal, but I wouldn't trade Trey for him. And this is why. This is why. Of course, I think J-Dub better player, but J-Dub gave a crazy answer today about his hamstring.
What did he say?
It was like, well, obviously I'm doing everything wrong. It's like, nigga, that is not a good answer. Like, you was hurt all season. His wrist looks terrible, right? His wrist look bad. I can see him being a Danny Granger, bro. To where it's like, you got so much talent, but you just can't stay healthy, bro. And it's just sad because he played in game 1, he looked good. But you can still look and see like, ooh,
he wasn't supposed to be back.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be out there. Like you look a little crazy. But yeah, I think it's the contract, like Saucy said. Like,
no,
if they was making the same amount of money, I don't think nobody would be trying to trade.
Forget the money for a second. I think
it's a big part of it. But
no, listen, this is what I mean. I think when people look at a player on their team, you fall in love with those players.
Yeah, you always overestimate that player.
Dog, like Chet, I think we looking at Chet on the highest level of competition. And I do think that Chet is the third option on a team that like Shea get his, but then J-Dub make sure he get his, but then after that, these motherfuckers spread the ball around, right?
Yeah, a lot of depth on that team.
And then so that's been his role, being that he missed that first year, and J-Dub kind of like made his way with that year while he was out, and then Chet came back, kind of got to get in where you fit in. So I'm not even the hugest fan of Chet like that, but I just personally think if you got an opportunity to get one of these elite stretch, and I don't know if I'm considering Chet necessarily elite, but like I just think they kind of changed. You saw what Porzingis did for, again, Boston was already great, but they add Porzingis and it was like, okay, if he plays at all, can't nobody beat that team. I just want us to get to a level to where we can at least look like, oh, you got at least got Chet at the rim. Like, imagine if you could give, let's say you had Chet and Eves out there. Because we talk about Chet for Trey straight up. Like, your rim defense is looking relatively different.
See, and that's where the problem comes in, right? Because with Chet, and I hate to have to keep prefacing it with this, I like Chet, but Chet at pick 17 is a steal. Chet at pick 2 is a bit of a disappointment. And that's where the problem comes in. Not for his accolades, but your accolades are because you're on such a great team. Like, and you contribute. I think he finished second as a defensive player of the year, all-star caliber guy, all NBA third team. Individual accolades, can't necessarily be debated, all-star. But it's like, if you wasn't on OKC, is your game transferable, right?
You think it's
and
not?
The fact that
you don't think it is?
No. The fact that I got to get a center to play next to you, the fact that it's like
wanted a center too.
Huh?
AD wanted a center too. That motherfucker was great.
AD was just going out like a buster though. AD was like he was just going out like a buster because AD just didn't want to do it. And then he gained all that weight and became even more injury prone. So maybe he was right. Whereas with Chet, it's just like, I didn't anticipate Chet playing well against Mitchell and Cat. I didn't. I think Chet was going to find himself in a bit of a pickle these next couple of series. And here's the part that really makes me question it. The West is getting a little bit bigger. Like, you lost Zubac, you lost Anthony Davis for now. He could be coming back to the West, who knows? But do I really want to see Chet versus Edie, Kling, and Wemby, the West, Mara. I'm trying to think of some of the other big motherfuckers. I'm probably even just forgetting. Oh, what's the other dude, man? That's a monster right now in Minnesota. He's a rookie. Like, do I really like Chet? You out here playing all Tinder and shit? Is like if I put you on another team and you don't got them killers on that perimeter like Dort, like Wallace, like Caruso, and even Shea, like if you don't got these killers out there, what's gonna happen to you? Because you were surrounded by killers in a do or die situation, do or die, and you left every bullet in your gun. Like you didn't do shit. So I don't know. And look, we said it about Ben. Like, oh, it was a fluke. Ben Simmons goes, so we gonna figure it out. It was over for Ben.
But Ben was fat. But Ben had already been like, yes, he fell off, but Ben had already been great too. Like Ben,
yeah, but see, and that's the thing with Chet. It's like, or even with Ben, it's like, you've been great, but you did it in one place. Have you ever went anywhere else and been great? Like, how do I know it wasn't you, this system, and the rest of the people? Whereas even with Chet, it's like, now I gotta look at you a little funny because you ain't played the center this postseason, really.
Now let me ask you a question. What's your expectations for Trey? Because we talking about Chet right now.
Yeah.
What's like? What do we is like? Do we believe Trey is going to like? To me, Trey still need to be because we a 20-something win team. Like we still need. Like how does Trey?
Talent.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like does. So then I started looking at it and I'm like, all right, we need a center more than I think we need Trey shooting. Even though you need shoot, I just think it's more replaceable. But I don't know. It's just kind of like where do I see Trey also in the net? Like if Trey about to take the legitimate all, is Trey gonna be better than J-Dub?
I probably not individually. But I think I hope this ain't the case, but if J-Dub continues to trend the way he's trending, yes, he will be because J-Dub, he don't even fucking play no more, which is sad because he's so good. But like, I think honestly, see Chet, the kind of person who I think if the Pelicans were to bring in Chet, you spend the rest of your time as a Pelicans fan saying, damn, we got to find a center to put next to Chet. But and that's the problem. Like both of them, like Chet, not like a great rebounder either for a big 7'2" motherfucker. He but one could say it's because he played with Hartenstein, but Chet averaged 17 and 9. But it's like as the number 2 pick, and that's unfair to be honest, because
that's what I'm saying. Like
it's unfair because talent is talent. But as the number 2
coming off the bench,
yeah, but that's only because Fox there.
And he looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He looks fantastic. But he also ain't going against Wemby.
Yeah.
Motherfucking generational, all like Wemby supposed to be the all time.
I guess the question
I'm not giving Chet no bell either. I'm just saying,
Because I don't think Wemby had a great series. I thought he had a very good series for like
it was up and down.
Yeah, I think it was up and down, right? Like, especially like the last couple of games. Like, I'll say like 5 and 6. I didn't think he played particularly well. Well, 4 and 5. I think he played particularly well. But Chet just quit. Like, and that's the thing. Like, it ain't like Wemby busted his ass. He just quit. And to me, I think Cat and Mitchell Robinson would have busted his ass. Honestly, I don't think he would have fared much better as things progressed. No. I think he had a cakewalk more or less through the West. Like, because a lot of teams were hurt. Yeah. But I just think his archetype is like, all right, look, bro, you got to gain some weight. Or you looking at, like, I think him and Trey top out at the same thing. Neither one are number 2 options on great teams, in my opinion. I think both of them. I think both of them are like 3-4 options, 3rd or 4th.
So here's I guess, and we could if
we can talk about another number 2 guy coming up right after this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it just like my only thought with Chet is Chet versus Trey. I don't know if your coach is a defensive coach You know what I mean?
That's
I
a good
don't
point. I
know.
want to ask you something. Go ahead.
Are we going to get like what are you going to get from Trey defensively? Because that's what matters for this particular coach or whatever, right? So say,
Yeah.
can I get enough of the defensive stuff from Chet and whatever he brings offensively, but like, is that enough if we were comparing the two to where what you wanted to build, Chet fit more of what you wanted to build? Because the thing, like Trey got some years left and stuff, but it's kind of like at some point, you don't have to make a decision on Trey, but if you have another losing season, you're gonna have to decide anyway.
You got to decide at least. To me, you got to decide at least by the deadline if you're gonna move on from Trey or not, because he only got 2 years after this. But I think the thing with Chet is, yes, he's secured, but Chet does not scream toughness. Because that's the transition I wanted to make. When you talk about Trey, when you talk about Herb, when you talk about Chet, talk about some of these guys, right? Let's say even Derek. Even Derek. At a certain point, I know they put the emphasis. Joe put the emphasis on toughness.
You want to play a certain style.
Mosley puts the emphasis on physicality and things of that nature. To me, that don't scream a lot of players on this roster, aside from maybe Fears, Sadiq Bey, and Zion.
Z for sure.
Yeah, like that's the only 3 guys when I say like toughness and physicality. Not tough like they soft, but tough as in like going against other physical players.
Yeah.
So is there like because I don't think Chet after this postseason would check the toughness box for them.
Chet don't check that box.
So do you think they have to they have to find a medium between toughness and talent?
The Pelicans?
Yeah. Tough. You can know karate, but bitch, you can't play no basketball. I'm like, all right. I don't care if you can whoop everybody's ass, you can't play.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's just I just wonder, like, I wish we could be in a room and talk to them how they view the situation. Because, like, for example, I use the Trey for a sword, right? Like, a sword is, if one thing, that motherfucker tough, right? Like, that's a physical player and whatnot. But offensively, that at some point, if you got to the playoffs, we might, not that you sit him down because he's so good defensively, but you gotta game plan for this motherfucker not being able to shoot.
Yo,
like,
I want to say this. I think Asar is awesome, but I also think Asar is a player that can't afford to take a single step back.
Yes,
because much like Herb, if he takes a single step back, if he's not as athletic, if he's not as quick laterally, if he can't rebound, if he can't rim defend, if he takes just a full step back, it's like, oh no, this is a disaster. Because it's like his entire game is predicated on defensive IQ and athleticism. And the moment that athleticism reacts slower than his brain and IQ, now we got a problem. And that's one of the things. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I think the skill set matters to them. I think like talent, or like because for as tough as the Joe Dumars, him, Isaiah, like those Pistons were, they were also very skilled.
Yes.
Like Isaiah was obviously one of the top point guards. Joe Dumars, Hall of Fame, and like wouldn't no fucking accident how good Joe Dumars was. So I think while they want toughness, I think he also wants like skilled players, or at least you ain't got to be like overly skilled, but you got to at least be impactful. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna throw some names out to you. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button as well. Take a moment, hit the like button. I'm gonna throw some names out to you, and you tell me if you believe these names check both boxes, and if they don't check both boxes, which box do you think they check for the Pelicans moving forward? Like if the Pelicans should retain these guys under the new toughness physicality regime. DeJounte Murray.
You know what, though? I'm gonna say yeah.
You will say toughness, physicality, and talent.
I'm gonna say yes. The talent part, I'm not even the biggest DeJounte fan, right? But DeJounte, he don't back down. I will say, as far as that aspect of his game, he ain't out there just let nobody bully him or no shit like that. He does. I'm gonna just say yes before I don't want.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's tough because I think he don't back down and get bullied because the nigga don't play. You ain't even got an opportunity to get back down or bullied. What's up with your most hated? It's like, nigga, you gotta fucking play. This nigga ain't played 3 years. But
I would love to see him on the court for at least 60 games if we was keeping.
I think I'm gonna say a nigga with an attitude, but in the game it's kind of there. But I think from a physical standpoint, I'm gonna say no, because I kind of saw the defense drop
the
last couple of seasons. I saw the defense drop the last couple of seasons because Jonathan's a skinny guy, and like Desmond Bain, a big cock diesel motherfucker.
Yeah,
Desmond Bain, like penitentiary diesel. So comparing like some of the physical guys, at that position getting downhill, like Maxey coming downhill, Bain coming down. Like, you either got to be quick enough to get in front of these guys or strong enough to knock them off their spot. I don't think DeJounte is there just yet, even like with Fears. I don't want to get ahead of the conversation, but let's just say Jeremiah Fears.
Yes, he checks the boxes in my opinion. I think the tough, like, we ain't even got to talk about the toughness. We already know. Offensively, he's definitely tough. You could tell every time he drive to the rim, he trying to throw shoulder into people, and so offensively, that's that. Even I think defensively, I think they're going to challenge him to do it more. So I think we'll see it on that side a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think you still got to learn to play defense as well. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think it's technique and all of that. So, like, I don't really want to judge him too much on like the defensive side, but I think you're gonna see that. Like, I'll tell you this, he ain't afraid to foul nobody. I ain't helping you up. Like, that motherfucker check every box for sure.
I'm gonna agree. Toughness and talent is definitely there. Yeah. Let's say Sadiq Bey.
I'm gonna say for where I think he is as a player. Like, I'm not putting Sadiq Bey on the same like talent level as like a Z or something like that. But for who he is and what he is, I think so. I think if
OKC had Sadiq Bey, they probably would have won Game 7.
Probably. Yeah. You remind me of like how Case and Wallace showed up in Game 7.
Yeah, like one of the few motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Zion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker beast though.
This where the list gets a little strange. Not strange, but this is where the list gets a little like probably gonna get a little more like
Yeah.
What do you say about her toughness and talent?
I think the toughness is there.
Okay.
I think the toughness is there. I think the want to for sure is there.
Right.
But the talent I think is limited. He's a second round pick for a reason. Like I think he's limited in his game, but I think her maximized is like maximized.
So if there were 3 boxes, right, was toughness, talent, and physicality, you would give him.
I would give him the toughness for sure.
Right.
I would give. Like, I think he's a tough player. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't think you could be first team all defense and not be tough at all. You know what I'm saying? The physicality sometimes is kind of like it ain't even about you to a degree. Like, one, you just naturally smaller than people seem like, and then 2, the way that they call, like the way his whistle in the league, they don't even truly allow him to be as physical as he may like to be. Like we won't question Dort's physicality, right? Also, he, big motherfucker, but like they allow Dort to play a certain style. Like I would love to know what Herb would look like if he was allowed to play that way. So I'm kind of on the physicality portion of it. I ain't never seen Herb bully nobody. So as of right now, I'm gonna have to say no. And then the talent, respectfully,
I'm gonna say Herb played through a shoulder injury last year. So I gotta give him the toughness nod. Of course, the 1-2 is always there. I think the talent and physicality thing, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have a strong no, especially from the physicality standpoint, because these motherfuckers just big and strong, dog. Like a lot of the guys coming into the league, like Jeremiah, like you can't help your body archetype, but it's like the reason why I compliment Wemby so much for going to work with guys and working on his body and things like that, because he doing it out the gate. He ain't waiting until everything go wrong or like, all right, I've hit a hard ceiling, now let me try to figure this out. I think a lot of guys, they just wait until like fucking year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, and then they finally want to like try to change things up. And I think you're kind of at a point where it's too late for Herb and some of those. Like Herb not gonna go gain 30 pounds at.
You gain too much weight, you be out of the league. Your body will slow down. You can't move the same. Can't guard.
Yeah, like if you would have gained maybe like 5-6 pounds all season gradually and like filled out, became more of like a PJ Tucker stocky type defender, then maybe you would have seen, because Herb's game is really like anticipatory, like cutting off lanes. Yeah, cutting off lanes, getting deflections. But like with Asar, the minute you misread something and you a step late and you don't rotate quite a bit, quite fast enough, now you're a liability, especially if the offense isn't there. Trey Murphy.
I'm gonna say the toughness. I'm gonna say the talent is there for sure. The talent, the physicality, no. Like the physical element of the game, no. On both sides, I'm gonna say no. And the toughness, I think Trey is tough. Like I think, again, he played through some injuries and stuff like that too. I think the want to be out there, but like when again, I go back and watch these games when Willie was like, these motherfuckers soft, bro. Like I get what he means by like they're soft. Into the games, you got like you can't let nobody deny you, bro. You gotta go get it. You gotta fight through that. Like, so I understood like certain parts of so like the physicality part, I can't give it to Trey. I just can't. Like talent, yes, he's very talented.
I'm looking at these contracts, and we'll get to this point as well. But no, the Pelicans, I said this before, the Pelicans are in a good spot financially. They really are.
How they want to move.
Until the Pelicans really only got 2 quote unquote bad contracts. Everybody else is like cool. And that's the crazy part. Like they could really get this shit like sewn up tight if they wanted to. But
let me ask you this.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you good.
Well, fuck, I ain't even answer. My bad. I'm tripping. For Trey, I'm gonna say I've seen some flashes of toughness and physicality on offense. Defensively, I've never seen it. The rebounding, I saw it earlier this year. Well, I guess he was putting an emphasis on defensive rebounding. Haven't seen it consistently enough. Defensively, dies on screens a lot. I think that's most of this team, but we talking about him right now. Like, gotta navigate the screens, at least run through a motherfucking chest every once in a while. Gotta put on some weight. Like Herb had the shoulder injury, so I'm sure they wasn't able to really lift this off season. But I've been told he has put on some weight. But gotta work on the physicality. Talent wise, I think the talent is there. I think the want is there, and I also think, much like some of the younger guys, because Herb is upperclassman, I think some of the younger guys. Well, Trey was a bit of an upperclassman as well, but I think the know-how for some guys isn't there. I think Willie did the best he could until the message got stale. But I don't think Willie is like an upper echelon coach as well.
I don't think they were taught the right way to do things. You know what I mean? Like how to navigate certain things. So no, I agree with that. And
I think it's like doing all the fun shit. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that kind of was my question to you, whatever, because I think it's tough to judge without seeing them under Mosley,
right?
To see exactly like what he holds them accountable for. Like what are your non-negotiables? You know what I'm saying? Like I know he said what they are, but I'm talking about like on the floor. Like say, dog, you gotta fight through this screen. Now, if we kept Trey Murphy and you see Trey fighting through screens, fighting the box out and stuff like, because I believe the ability is there, but we just haven't seen them, deploy it for like a full season and shit like that. So it's kind of like I really kind of got to give the team not a mulligan because fuck that.
Yeah, not back-to-back years, but
so no, you don't get that. But I do give them. I don't want to give him no grace. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to give him no grace. But I just understand that it was a terrible scenario from like the coach. Like I feel like the coaching just been bad. Like
I feel like I don't think they wanted to keep a single motherfucker from this staff. Honestly, aside from some of the lower tier developmental guys, I think you ain't gonna see a lot of these guys mention to go receive jobs and new teams necessarily. I don't think none of these guys are really that desirable, truthfully.
You know what's interesting? Throughout the entire time we've had coaches here, right?
Yeah.
Like let's say since David Griffin got here, you had never heard any Pelicans assistant other than Borrego, and you know what Borrego is about, but none of them been mentioned for like head coaching jobs or just
I think
none of that.
I think
like Darren Collins.
But he interviewed for something, but no,
it didn't feel. But you get my point.
Yeah, I think these dudes got good agents.
Yeah,
I don't think they. No, I don't think so. I mean, no, but Derek, how you feel? For his talent, physicality, toughness, Derek Queen.
I think DQ was talented.
Right.
I think DQ was talented for sure. Mm-hmm. I think DQ. I think he's so fucking goofy, dog. I think he's so this is what I mean. Like, I think he's tough. That dude, came back, played 82 games. You know what I'm saying? That's a level of toughness for sure. No training camp, off the broke wrist. So I'm not gonna question his toughness at all. But I think when he wants to be physical, he can, but he just be seeming so I can't disassociate his personality when he be joking around so much and shit like that sometimes from I see that on the court. Like when he be flopping around and whatnot, I'm just like, dog, just play. Like Fear's personality is no nonsense, right?
Yeah.
That dude play no nonsense. And that's how I feel about DQ. So is he capable of being a physical player? I think so, but I think his mindset is so childish, that you see it on the court.
I know some people are gonna be like, well, Shaq was like that. No. Shaq was a fucking phenom. Shaq Shaq, there'll never be another people pull out these stats now. Look, shout out to Wimby, shout out to Shay, shout out to everybody. No, Shaq be wiping his ass with some of these dudes. Shaq was the
what?
No,
Shaq. If Shaq hit the league today, it would change the league again.
Yeah, again. That's how. So for me, I'm gonna say. I really don't know. I
don't know nothing. You don't know nothing.
I think
You don't think he's tough?
no, I think he's tough as far as like
That's one check.
well, see what I mean by tough is like no what I'm gonna say, yeah, because I have seen him sit down in the post and guard some guys and not back down in that post
I
on
don't think
defense.
he don't get bullied like that. Like,
Nah, not at all. I think though the physical traits take away from the toughness. And that's really what I'm saying. Like when I like the physical traits kind of take away from everything. Like in my from my perspective, I think like much like Herb is like it's only so much you can really do physically. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Asar is just a freak athlete. So you
yeah,
just
Asar just a freak
athletically
athlete.
can do things that other people just can't do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Like there's so many guys like that, bro, who just like people like Zion, you gotta average more than 6 rebounds. Like, yeah, we average 7 once, but it's like there comes to a point in time where people have to realize like that's a 6'6" power forward. Like you're right. He's not a point guard. He's not playing the 2 where he's crashing from the top of the key and a 3-point ball is like bouncing out. Zion is playing under the rim with the trees. So
7 footers.
Yeah, it's like he's a 6'6" power forward. Like that's what he's cast to do at this point. With Derek, there just ain't a ton of like examples I can give as far as like him offensively being super duper like tough and physical or super duper tough and physical along the perimeter either. Like it's a ton of clips with Fish driving downhill, dipping his shoulder, throwing his forearm, creating separation. There's some chippy moments. There's a couple chippy moments with DQ as well. I don't lend a lot to chippy moments from either guy.
I don't think about the chippy moments
either. Yeah, this from straight style of play. I'm gonna say I'm just unsure. I'll just say I'm unsure.
I understand. Again, to shout out to the people in the chat. Like, he's very childish, dog. He's childish. Like, again, you can see when he come to the lane. Like, for example, Zion don't play when he's driving to the paint. Like, that's a no. Like, I'm coming through the paint, bully, whatever. DQ, you know he. It is just, you know what I mean? And you just like, dog, can you take this shit serious, bro? Can you like focus and go make the move, bump that dude, go get the bucket? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
That's one of the things to where like with certain guys, I wish they didn't have a ton of like tricks in their bag necessarily. Freedom. I wish I would rather Derek have an elite first step and no handles than have like these handles but no first step. Because if you're dribbling for 15 seconds and you stand in one spot, it's kind of like, but I'd much rather him be able to have that momentum getting downhill so he can dip his shoulder and create the separation. But when you do dip your shoulder and create the separation, you got to be able to finish at the rim. And for a big man, that's not quite there yet. That's why I just say across the board, I don't know.
I'll give him the year 2 because you got a summer now. You know what the NBA physicality is like. You know what you're going up against. I think year 2, because like when you were talking about Chet, your big criticism to Chet is like, dog, you know at this point what you need.
To look
like and do. DQ to shoot him a little bit of grace. You just kind of got thrown into the season and you figuring out on the fly. If you come back this season, then we could really start being like, all right, motherfucker, this is mainly on you.
Another question, but I'll save it for later during the star question section. So that's pretty much like the main guys that we just talked about, right? For Michael Peavy, we know the toughness that Eve Messi, I'll end it with him before we transition to Jalen Green.
I think Eves is tough. I think Eves is a physical player. I don't think he's like super talented. I think he has some talent. I think it's tough because everybody try to give him the pass of like not playing basketball for that long, but it's kind of like, though, at this level, I ain't saying you ain't got time for catch up, but like
you either good or you ain't.
Yeah, like I did, like you ain't gonna take just that significant amount of a leap to just go from like I ain't played. Either you like got it or you don't really have it, or you could kind of like find yourself. Like I think he's serviceable, so like I think he has some tools. Talking about Eves, I think he needs a little bit of refinement. Like he could be Bismack, like he could be Bismack, no doubt.
I think he'd be better than.
No, I agree. I'm just like as a if I just had to be like, oh, who's a player that I think he could be in the league for sure? Like I think he could have a tough rim defender, run the floor. Like Bismack had some good years. You know what I mean? I think
Bismack had some solid years.
Yeah, so I look at Eves like that. Like I don't want, similarly.
So Jalen Green's a person like his name's come up a lot, and I saw someone mention him in the chat earlier. Now personally, I wouldn't trade Trey Murphy for Jalen Green because I feel like I kind of feel like that's not even lateral. I kind of feel like that's trending in the wrong direction, just from a need and availability standpoint. But how would you feel about going after a guy like Jalen Green? What's some of the things you think he could add to the roster potentially?
I like the idea of going after Jalen Green. I just I wouldn't want to give up Trey for Jalen Green. You know what I mean? Like if we talking about Poole and Hawkins for Jalen Green, like yeah.
What about DeJounte?
I give up DeJounte for Jalen Green.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to give up DeJounte for Jalen Green. I know a lot of people are down on Jalen Green, but I personally think like I think Jalen Green's physical tools, right? Like that dude's still athletic as hell. Like he still has moments. Like again, we just saw him in the playing game. What he went for damn near 50 or whatever it was.
Yep.
Like you saw him look like the best player on the court in the game. Typically, like regardless of what happened, even in the playoffs, like not saying he played great, but shit, Booker looked like the lesser player at times.
I think that's why they need a point. They need a point guard desperately.
I agree.
You can't keep making Book defer like he's been doing.
I think they diminishing Booker in a sense, but that ain't Jalen Green's fault. Bitch, I'm out here to do what I gotta do.
Right.
So I think if we added Jalen Green and say you running like Green Z, I could, even if that's not a bad comp for Jalen Green, to be honest. But if you were
Zach a little better, but I agree.
Better shooter.
I think Zach just better overall. Well, I think prime Zach 2-time All-Star. I think Jalen Green got All-Star talent, but I don't know if he ever like realizes it.
I think it took Zach a little bit of time too to like kind of.
Yeah, because he went to the Wolves, then he went to the Bulls, then the Kings.
How long Jalen Green been in the league? What, 4 years now?
This would
something
be
like that. He came in with Cade.
He's going into year 6.
Is he?
So this will be 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. So like,
I don't really count this year. He was hurt a lot, but going into year 6.
Yeah, I like Jalen, to be honest. You know what I'll say to Jalen Green's like credit when like what I think about when I think about Jalen Green, when Sengun was out and they was playing around Jalen Green,
he was balling.
That motherfucker was looking incredible. Now, I don't know if he needs to be the number one option. I'm not saying that, but I think there is a world where Jalen Green, for somebody like the Pelicans, looks fine. It looks good.
I think Jalen Green is incredibly serviceable if healthy, and you just counting on upside. Like to me, if you was like, "All right, look, this is what we about to do. We about to get a dirt cheap, not dirt cheap, but we about to get a serviceable veteran point guard. And Fears is our guy. Like Fears gonna get the lion's share of the point guard minutes. And we run it with Zion, Jalen Green, Trey, that point guard. And we
that
gonna
point
move
guard starting or Fears is starting? Like, is it a starting level point guard or we running?
Yeah. Let's say it's a starting level guard, right? He ain't great, but he's starting level, right? Let's say hypothetically, it was Chris Dunn. Like Chris Dunn can start.
If I got Chris Dunn, I'm playing Fears.
Yeah, like to me, the reason why I say this is because whoever your point guard is, they really got to be like a catch and shoot off ball guy. Like, because now the usage is just crazy between
like a Tyus Jones 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably so. Tyus was a little washed at that point.
Like a Ty Jerome, maybe.
No, Ty Jerome shoot the. It got to be like It got to be like Chris Dunn. Like I'm just here to defend. I'm just here to defend, pass the ball, and shoot threes. Like it got to just be a straight up. I'm trying to think who else. Like somebody that I've seen recently. Kind of like how Schroeder played in the playoffs. Even though Schroeder don't play like that, kind of like how you play in the playoffs. It got to be like I am straight up here.
I wouldn't mind a Schroeder. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I would. I think Schroeder bad luck. But that type of player, right?
Okay.
And I say that because Jalen Green need the ball. Trey off ball, but he want to get his shots up. Zion needs the ball.
I think
you get the best defender you can get.
I know your point. I think Trey need to be like relegated to off ball stuff.
Yeah, he in this scenario, he's 100% off ball.
Okay.
In this scenario, he would be like Michael Porter Jr., right?
I got you.
So if you had a monster at the 5 or a monster rotation at the 5, because now you go into Zion and Trey and be like, look, y'all gotta perfect. No, would be perfect at the point guard in this scenario. Josh Giddey. Right, that's hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say a Josh Giddey type with defense, right? A rebound, pass the ball, hit an open shot, right? Low, kind of more of a low usage guy.
So DeJounte.
No. because
DeJounte be wanting to shoot too much.
DeJounte want to sing lead. And it's like, bro, sometimes your ass need to be in the back playing these drums, though. Like, you're not meant to sing lead.
That's my biggest complaint with DeJounte.
I go to the Knicks game. I go to that Knicks game. This one, the season was it was over. Fears busting ass. Fears got the Knicks on the fucking ropes. DeJounte come ask yourself, then Fears don't play like the entire fourth. Mind you, DeJounte didn't play like the entire second, mostly, if I'm not mistaken. Fears don't play like most of the fourth. The Pelicans lose this game. It is clear that it was like some weird relationship happening there. That was like the game that officially eliminated them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
So I think
that Giddey situation too.
Yeah, I think if you get Giddey, that'd be crazy. That's why you know who would be perfect if they could play point guard? Herb in that scenario. But anyway, so yeah, if you got a point guard like Giddey and you got a center like. If Eve could just be like decent on center, give you like 9 rebounds a game, be solid defensively, I think that's a hell of a lineup because you're counting on if Jalen Green stay healthy and he just have a solid season and you counting on upside, contract not bad.
Listen, you got a lot of firepower in that scenario because Giddey could get you. Giddey will fuck around and like get you a quad, like a
Giddey average triple double. Yeah. Giddey cool.
And I think with how, because Jalen ain't afraid to shoot the 3, regardless of what you think about his percentage or whatever. You know he's willing to shoot them. Yeah. He can attack. Like again, I like the idea of finally having like athletic, because let's say that lineup is what you said it was, like Giddey, Z, Trey, Jalen Green, and Eves. No, everybody other than Giddey are like really athletic. Like we could get out on a break, we could run you under the rim, we could flush on you, we could probably get some blocks, we could get out in transition. I think physically they'll probably be able to guard. Like I think you've seen Jalen, he come from the Houston system, you've seen him been able to guard.
Big coach hard before under Udoka.
Yeah, like I think you could probably, and him being hypothetically being his third team, I think you could get him to like maybe finally find some footing that you might have not have found
an extension
before.
too. Like you playing for a contract extension too. I think
money.
In a hypothetical trade of like DeJounte and stuff, maybe I'm just like salary stuff. DeJounte and like let's say Hawkins for Jalen Green. I think that is something they will consider just to get Devin Booker off ball more.
That's necessary for them, to be honest.
Yeah, you can't keep running Devin Booker. I would certainly do something like that if that was the deal that was possible. I heard Weaver kind of like Jalen Green. I don't know if he like him enough to trade for him, but I heard that he likes him as the player.
I think it's going to be a lot of moving parts this offseason, to be honest. I know last year a lot of people thought there would be a lot of moves. I don't believe that. I like Kobe White, to be honest. I don't think we can afford
Kobe White a lot. I just don't think we can afford him. I like Kobe White a lot, though, for real.
Yeah, I would love to have Kobe White, to be honest. I think he'd be really ideal. Would you start Kobe White?
Yeah, I would.
You think he's a starting point?
I think he's a starting point. Yeah, I do. I think he's a starting caliber point. I think he's one of them guys, though, you got to have big wings next to him that's going to defend. Because I don't think he's going to be a strong defender. I think he could accept. Like, people don't realize how fucking big LaMelo is. LaMelo big ass dude.
LaMelo huge, dog. LaMelo
big ass
like
dude.
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, LaMelo's a big ass guy. So, like, when people like, well, you're not gonna bench LaMelo to start Kobe, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but on the Bulls, it was like a conversation because Kobe could play.
Bro, I remember in the beginning of the season, before the Hornets turned it around, they were talking about trading LaMelo. I remember thinking to myself, like, should we do it? I'll say this: if we had Mosley at the time, I would have been more willing to do it because I think we'd have had enough, like, coaching structure.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Charles Lee, I think brings them coaching structure, right? Dog, I remember a couple years ago, I went to see LaMelo play here, and some of the shit that I was just like, boy, and he still do.
Right, wild shit.
He still do that. But I think that when we talk about the talent and like his, you know what? If you're not gonna be tough, dog, your talent gotta be so.
It gotta be extraordinary.
Yes, out the box, and he got that. I ain't gonna lie.
I think every player, like when we talk about Jalen Green, Poole. Well, I can't really say Poole because Poole got a ring, but Jalen Green, LaMelo, all these guys. Look, everybody's a losing player until they win. Yeah, and that's really what it boils down to. It's hard to really say this guy doesn't win. Like what the narrative was around Jalen Brunson. It's like it depends on what winning looks like to you. Winning a ring. If Jalen Brunson don't win a ring, I don't think people gonna ever say he's still a losing player. Donovan Mitchell, if he don't win a ring, people are not gonna say he's a losing player necessarily. You might just say I can't win a ring with him. But you're not gonna say he's a losing player, right? But you know, there's levels to it.
I also think, like for example, like I know a lot of people talk about the Spurs and all of this talent that they have and stuff like that. Them motherfuckers won 30-some games last year, and Wemby was there. And the year before that, they won less games than that. And then like these, like though a lot of the players, other than Castle, Harper and Wemby, really, these dudes been there for a while. It really takes like
Keldon Johnson got drafted like 2019 or some shit, didn't he?
No, we talk about players like Jalen Green, for example, and it's like, bro, if you have a bunch of talented players that you can find a system for them to play in, like all of these dudes can look like, man, Devin Vassell looked incredible at times, was able to guard and just like Champagny, like his skill set was was able to shine through because you had just get a bunch of like talented players and then allow them to figure it out. Like again, if you gonna put, we talk about Chet. Now Chet money is different, but like we talk Chet on OKC is just surrounded by a bunch of fucking dudes.
A bunch of talented physical shooting guys. Yeah.
Like dog, we talk about Zion, like and Zion might not be a 1. Bro, if you make Zion, I don't care what nobody say. If you make Zion a 2 on any of these, like go put Zion on one of these teams and watch how physically dominant.
The only team to me with a 2 that's head and shoulders better than Zion is that I would say today that's like he's better.
Boston.
It's Boston. And that depends on who you think the 2 is. Tatum or Brown.
Tatum or Brown. Either one though.
Yeah, but other than that, it's like who? Like bro, realistically, there's a real possibility that the Pacers will never make it to the finals again.
No.
Like I mean, you can say that about any team, but like just looking at it, it's like, yeah. We don't know what's gonna happen with Halliburton. We don't know that, and that's like to your point. That's how fast windows open and close, and that's why you got to put together the best team possible in the short term because you don't know when this all could end. Like I saw something today, and somebody was like, man, imagine somebody like Wemby's just a baby in the league. Wait till he really figures it out. It's like, what do you think happens with guys like that? Motherfuckers don't take 5 and 10 steps and just get like, no, Wemby is as great as he's going to be now. Like he's already the greatest I don't say ever going to be.
I don't say that. Yeah, I think he can get significantly better and smarter and stuff. But like again, your team construct like when Wemby signs his deal and Devin and Dylan Harper's money comes and Stephon Castle's money comes, you know what they're gonna be looking at? They're gonna be looking at OKC right now. You're gonna be like, what are we doing? And you were, and I don't wish this on nobody. Greg Oden had the foot, Derrick Rose had the knee, like D-Wade had the knee. Bruh, Brian really the only one who just was able to be
sustained
as phenomenal and as healthy the entire time.
Well, to clarify, this is what I mean more so about Wemby. Can I say this about other players? It's like, let's say for Zion, for example. The most Zion could really do is become a better defender and a decent shooter. He's not going to get any taller. He's not going to get any faster. Yeah. He's not going to get any more athletic. That's just not going to happen. Like with Wemby can gain some weight. Like Wemby can shoot better from 3, but I don't know where
his impact is what it is.
His impact is as long as he's 7'5", and he can move. The impact is what it is.
I get what you're saying.
I think people kind of like for example, there was one time Joel Embiid was a really good defender. Then it just kind of as he became greater offensively in the injuries, he lied. Fuck this. I'm putting all my energy on this side of the basketball. Now, I don't think that's ever going to happen with Wemby.
No.
But it's like you can't be afraid that certain players are going to ascend to a level that's just unforeseen because that's never happened in the NBA. Like Michael Jordan, maybe, but even then, that's never happened in the NBA.
And even for the players that do ascend, LeBron ascended and only got 4 championships. Like Steph ascended, one of the greatest ever, 4 titles. Like, and Jordan, arguably the best ever, 6 of them bitches. So
you know the crazy thing about Steph? Steph got 4 titles and 1 Finals MVP, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, again, it's like, bro, you gotta go for it. Every year, you gotta go for it. Like, fuck all these other teams and what they talking about.
The team that I think about the most, like when I think about Toronto with the 1 year rental of Kawhi, and it's like
The flukiest
Kevin
shit
Durant
ever.
did tear the Achilles.
Yeah,
Like
look,
it happened. Clay tore the ACL. It happened.
I always say Steph Curry got Klay Thompson injured in that series, but because he had a layup, and he like instead of doing a layup, he dished it to Klay for Klay to do a dunk, and that's when Klay got injured. I'm like, if you would have just shot the layup, and Steph was terrible in that series, but if you would have just shot the fucking layup, Klay wouldn't have got hurt because Klay was their best player in that series. But why? But yeah, like bro, it takes luck at the end of the day. Like it takes luck. And if you're the Pelicans or just any team, you got to position yourself to be able to capitalize on luck. Yes. Like it was no way in the world Dallas and them was supposed to make it to no fucking no fucking finals. And Luka just went insane.
Luka decided he was the best player on the world for a while.
Yeah, Luka like, you know what? Bitch, you guessed it. It just went crazy. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you this because this is something we joke about a little bit. When you talk about team construction, I actually this we get to the starter questions. When you talk about team construction, do you build the team with guys in mind, or are you just saying like, no, I just want nothing but talented guys? Do you care about fit whatsoever? And if you do build it with some guys in mind, what guys are you considering when team building?
We talking in general or like this team?
Talking about this team, Pelicans.
I do build the team with guys in mind because it's certain things I feel like this particular team needs. Now, this is based off of what I don't know what Joe Nim goal is, right?
Right.
But like, I build the team with dudes with attitudes, in my opinion. Like,
okay,
that's all I really want, to be honest. Okay. Like, I want Ja because Ja just like
he got an attitude.
He got an attitude, dog. And he might not be the Ja old, but Ja still like a great player to me.
Yeah.
So like, if I had Ja, I think players like Ja lift players like Z. Kelly Oubre would be one.
Yeah, Kelly went crazy this postseason.
Like if I could get like
Kelly became an enforcer.
Like, if I could get like Mitchell Robinson, Kelly Oubre. If my offseason it was like Kelly Oubre, Mitchell Robinson, and Ja, I ain't saying I'm gonna win, but I know we gonna compete. I know they're gonna hold like everybody accountable for being, like, because I look at Mitchell Robinson, dog, and he'd be like, boy,
that's a wild guy. He's a wild guy. Mitchell Robinson, an interesting guy.
No, but like you don't see him getting bullied or nothing like that. Like
no.
You know who else is an ideal dog? I would, if I could send Trey for Bane, I'd do, obviously.
For Desmond Bane?
Like,
oh yeah.
Is the kind of guy, like Bane to me is the ideal guy I want. Like we might not necessarily win, but if we on the flow, like we might beat you up. Like we might just be like
the physicality definitely be there with Desmond Bane.
And I think they're talented enough to where like Ja can have moments where Ja be like, dog, you realize I'm the best player out here. And I think he could have Z in a mindset of like, you the best player out here. They really can't do nothing with you. Like
it's funny you said that, because that kind of lends to why I was asking the question a little bit, like as far as like, of course, a guy like Jakob he got a chance to be the best player any night. Like that same thing with Zion. Like there's gonna be games where it's like this dude's the best player on the court tonight against people Like I
Who
don't
are
even
the
go
best
there.
players in the league?
Yeah, they against people who's supposed to be like some of the best, and it's like no,
Yes.
this guy he was the best
No,
tonight.
I'm really when I decide.
Yeah.
No, you see it in stretches during the games. Like they'll have moments in the game where Zion, he'll just be like, all right, for the third quarter, I'm about to just be better than everybody.
And see, and that's the thing where that's why I asked, similar to the talent, physicality, and toughness question, is like, I really only think that they view one guy as a foundational piece on this team.
Zion
And
or Fizz?
I think Fierce.
Okay.
I think everybody else is kind of like, I hope it works out. Like, I think, but with Fierce, he's the guy that's showing you like the most consistent flashes of like, this could be like a high level guy. Whereas Zion, of course, the talent is there, but the injuries, the timeline, those become questions.
And I'll say this about Z, and no, I'm a Z fan too. But last year, to me, was the first year, in my opinion, for stretches. I felt like I saw him quit. And I didn't like. That's when, to me, I was like, okay, Z a 2, like at best a 2. Like talent wise, he has talent to be the 1, but I personally couldn't make Z my 1 because there were just certain stretches. Like there used to be times in games where like even if you was losing, you would see Z just relentless at all times. Defend, like I'm going for steals, I'm going for blocks, and like you might lose, but it just never felt like he felt passive this season. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like he kind of like caved to the shit that was around him.
Some of that could have been the usage, because I mean, you talk about the lowest career usage in his career with the Pelicans. Some of that could have been utilization. Some of that could have just been quitting. Some of that could have been, I don't want to get hurt. But the fact that it was there at all is a problem. Because it kind of puts you back at square one from the standpoint of, it's like, who can I really count on here? And I say that because every time I mention like a center build out or something like that, people, and I hate to always bring this guy's name up, but people would be like, and we joke about this, like, well, what does that mean for Derek? And like, if I say, man, like, let's hypothetically, like, I don't want Mobley, but let's say if I was like, man, we should trade for Mobley, or if people who like Chet, they say, man, Chet would be the perfect center to put next to Derek, and I'm like, I think people are counting Derek in this equation way too much. I honestly do, because like, do you think, like, hypothetically speaking, I'm trying to think, if they was like, we'll trade you Sabonis for a second round pick, right? Oof. But they was like, man, damn, Sabonis want to play the 4, and Derek gonna come off the bench. Do you think they would give a fuck? I don't. They give a fuck. They be like, whatever. Like, it's like, how you gonna come off the bench?
Send some bonus.
Hey, you got any more?
Listen, I don't think, if Fierce don't have a guaranteed starting spot right now, and I don't think he does, there's no way, respectfully, there's no way DQ got a guaranteed starting spot.
Like,
even two paths right now. Like, I think what DQ has to do is more significant than what Fierce has to show to like crack the starting lineup.
And bro, honestly, I'm not even necessarily talking about starting. I'm just like, I'm just saying.
You're talking about playing?
No, not even play. Like, for example, right? Let's say what's the dude name? Trevon Brazile, right? Let's say they love Trevon Brazile. And Trevon Brazile is like, he's a 4. Like, he's going to be a 3-4 type guy. Let's just say he's a 4. Yeah. Like a Larry Nance type. Or even Chris Sinek. Chris Sinek is more 4 than 5. So it's like, people like Brazil, they like Sinek, but the question has to arise at some point. It's like, because people like this positionless basketball is all about the skill set, and it's like, all right, those guys are more like Brazil's more defensive, but Christian Atkins is more of an offensive guy, and Derek Queen is not like a defensive guy. So they would be two offensive guys, and one is more defensive, but they all undersized bigs in today's NBA for right now anyway. But like, would you pass on those guys because you have a Derek Queen already?
I can't. I just can't. Especially if I'm like, no, listen, that boy might be Keldon Johnson
For a 6-man
from like
type guy.
Yeah.
Like the
you
reason
might
why I
have
think is go ahead.
No, you might have to again, like because DQ's style of play is so unique. Like depending on how you build out your starting lineup, defensively or offensively, whatever, I think you just have a better opportunity to max. One, I think you could just dominate second units to a degree if you ran your second unit through him.
Yeah.
I can see that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, that would be right now until he developed whatever, like, that would be my role for him.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I went back and I watched that final Minnesota game. And
the 30 and 20 game.
Yeah. And it sounds weird because of that stat line, right? Me saying this, but I think you gotta come to the realization that there's a world where there's going to be several other bigs from that draft that are better than Derek, right? And that Derek's probably better suited beating up on second units. Because
I'm going to say this. Let me give you a little pushback real quick.
Okay.
I think however they use DQ, like most players,
right?
Your system situation all makes a difference, in my opinion, in your success.
Right.
If DQ is used properly, or if he makes himself viable to be, you know what I mean, to play a certain type of way, because you got to do your part of the play as well. Right. Then I think you could see DQ look like one of the like better bigs out of the draft, out of that class. Now, if you asking him to go just be a fucking true big, look, I need 10 rebounds. I need you to be a defensive interior presence. And I don't know if like the path for him to do that is there. I think the rebounding might be there, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, because and see, that's the thing. Like with Fierce, for example, I'm not worried about point guard, period.
No.
I'm just not worried about point guard, period.
I'm not
taking
another.
Yeah, like only way I bring up a point guard in if it was like a veteran, like who was like significantly better than Fierce right now.
Well, I'll say this. I say that, but again, if Dylan Harper was available, or like somehow we ended up in the draft and a player like that was there, and it just so happened to be us, like, you know what I mean? Like,
like if it was just like,
I gotta
because Dylan Harper was also like fucking 6'7", like, you know, it's like those them kind of guys can play together, like in theory, right? Like if Kyrie was available, I would take Kyrie.
Good job.
Yeah, or like if Ja was available, I'd take Ja. But like again, if I'm thinking about what they are saying they want to build out for us defense and all these things, I'm leaving Fox where he at. I ain't gonna lie, I'm leaving Fox where he at.
But for 60, I rather
with all these things, and every time we go through like a roster construction like conversation, it's always like, well, damn. What we gonna play Derek though? Because Derek got to be in this conversation somewhere, of course. And I'm very interested to know if they like married to that idea, because it's something that right now today, if I had to put a percentage on if it's working, it's closer to not working than it is to working right now, in my opinion.
I think right now they probably viewing it as we just want to, again, we just need
talent.
Like we want to establish the culture and then like acquire talent however we need to, like we just want the kind of people that we like, and then we'll kind of see, like go from, like I like Derek's game, okay, let's get Derek. I like Fizz, I like Z, let's get Z. I like Jalen Green, let's get Jalen Green. I like, you know what I mean? Like I like these players because they're, you know, they fit what I think we want to do. And then I remember when he said DQ should have went to Philly because they felt like DQ did a lot of what Embiid did to a degree. Now he's not 7 feet, obviously, but the way Embiid plays on the perimeter, handles the ball, all of that. Now, again, Embiid is 7 feet, shoot the three, dominant in the post. Is a little different. But I do remember when Gil said that and made that comment. This is when Derek was like Derek was like cooking. You know what I'm saying? This was the triple doubles and the all of that.
That is so insane. Like, bro, like that is so fucking insane. Just because I say that because it's like you gonna say one of the best bigs ever. Like it wasn't like they would nobody else you can use you can use like that's just whatever. That's whatever. That's kind of like comparing somebody to Allen Iverson. It's like, oh, Michael, like, man, dude could be like Mike if things work out. It's like, no. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no. Right? I think I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know what their plans are, but what I will say,
I think they view it as like, I think they view this year as year one for them to a degree.
I think it is, yeah.
Right. Like I think they want to see some progress. I think also similar to Trey. I think the reason they really even considering moving Trey is because Trey feels non-committal. Same with Herb, right? Herb feels a little non-committal.
What up,
and it's
Chuck?
kind of like, whoa, what's good, bro? So I think Joe Dumars really like on that first. Like
if I don't feel like there's 100% buy-in, you can get the fuck.
Yeah, you could get the fuck.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna get dudes in here, one that want to win, that want to give their all to, like, they really have no reason to trade Jose, to be honest. I think Jose had got to the point where he started just being like, you know, all right, whatever.
I think it just got to. I think really it's trying to look out for him.
Yeah, like they did him a solid, but they ain't have no reason to trade him.
Yeah, they have no real reason to do it. Like, well, if anything, maybe he would have picked up his player option and you lose $4 million, maybe.
Like, you but a couple seconds for Jose, but it's kind of like you have no real reason to trade Jose. So it's just kind of like, all right, like, you know what I mean? You probably a little down on your situation. You don't know what your contract look like. You know what, Wilson, you know, go ahead.
I just, with the whole thing, I just like I'm not an optimism heavy person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why even when I say like the Pelicans are in pretty good shape, I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at the roster, I'm looking at what happened last year. Like I'm giving
looking at the data of it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the data, cold objective facts. And I just hope from a team building standpoint that they not like
in love with anything.
Yeah, not love with anything, but for positional reasons. Like, well, we drafted this guy so we can't draft again at that position, or we drafted
I
this
don't
guy,
think that at all.
so we can't. Yeah, I don't think so either.
No,
I don't think
that
so
at
either.
all.
And here's for really, I'm talking more so to the fan base, because you have no idea how annoying it is, bro. When people be like,
like you can't take so and so because we got DQ type
well,
shit.
that and people will say, yeah, so look, move Trey, right? Then you move Zion in a lineup of DeJounte, let's just say Carson Wallace, Derek Queen, Eve, and such. Hey, I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? That team sounds awful.
Listen, first
like
off,
one of the worst teams ever.
They literally just changed the rules so that don't even put you top of the lottery no more. Like that don't even put you on top of the lottery no more. Like you gonna be awful. You god awful, dog.
And see, that's the thing. I just be like, I'm like, bro, that is not a good team. Like, or even if they put like Fears in the equation, like, man, you know, Fears. I'm like, yeah, look, that's not a good fucking team. I'm just trying to keep it $1 with you. Like, it's not a good team. So
I say this sometimes too. No, go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. You froze.
I go through, like, I be sitting there messing with the trade machine and doing all kind of shit, and then I look at the roster that I created, and I'm like, this is a bad team. Like, we can't, like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll go through, make something happen, and then be like, nah, we can't roll this out here. This fucking sucks. Like, you know,
wait, I only got 4 niggas, so like I can play. Like, what the fuck?
Like in theory, you'd be like, man, for example, people be like, look, you move Z, you move Trey, get a bunch of young dudes, and you start Fears, Sadiq, DQ, Eve, and then you'll be like, boy, we might win 10 games. We might win 10 games. Okay.
And then see, my thing too is like, bro, I don't believe in like teardowns. I don't believe in teardowns unless, for one, I think I got a shot at the number, like a real shot at the number 1 pick, or for 2, I got a real, true, hard down foundational piece already in the building. I'm not just trading everybody for the sake of doing it, because again, I think you're looking at like a decade-long rebuild. Like, people think the Spurs just woke up and like got good. No, people don't remember the DeRozan years. What's dude, man?
The last time the Spurs made the playoffs was 2018, 2019.
Bro, that's 7 fucking years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a long time ago. Since then, niggas that passed through that organization, Derek White, DeJounte, like a bunch of motherfuckers, bro. Like the Kings had one hot summer. The Kings they've been bad ever since. So it's like,
and now Fox gone, fucking Sabonis about to be gone, DeRozan, like, okay.
Levine, it's like, bro, no, these rebuilds take a long time. And if you
OKC's rebuild was long, bro.
It was a very long
rebuild was long.
OKC's rebuild was so long. Chris Paul started on that team. Chris Paul started on the Spurs. Yes. Like, Chris Paul was like an actual playing functional player. The Phoenix never forgot together. Like, that's what I'm saying. For me, I ain't really tripping on, like, you know, because it's my team, I'm gonna support my team. But people just like, just let the young guys run it. I'm like, and go where? Like, what you think happens next? Like, what you think?
The Wizards, bro, are like the Wizards. God. Think about this: the Wizards ain't been competitive since Russ had his last triple-double season.
Oh my God. That was so long ago, bro.
And Russ had to put that bitch on his back to like go get that done.
Hey. Bro, Phoenix traded for Bradley Beal or signed him, however they did it, and they paid him $100 million to go away. Like these things, a lot of times, and sometimes it don't matter what you do. You can build different types of ways. Sometimes the shit just don't work out. The Bulls, like a lot of times, shit just don't work out. Yes. But I think for the sake of conversation, when people be like, "Nah, man, let the young guys have it," it's like, for one, and I don't want this to sound mean spirited. You say young guys plural, like you know what you got, right? Like you matter of factly got a young stud or two in the building that's about to like show you what the fuck is up. And it's like, no, right. that ain't what you have right now. And honestly, I've seen enough data. Now, year 2 is coming up, of course, but I've seen enough data from year 1 to year 2 to know that, some of these things I don't think are going to like, I don't expect nobody to get taller and faster. Like, I just don't expect that to happen. Motherfucker work on their jumper, motherfucker do this, do that. But I think the players going to have the same type of, some of the players going to have the same deficiencies that they had before.
Like even when you hit on certain players, bro, that don't mean it's gonna work out. Like the Rockets, for example,
you break
hit on Sengun, and they might have hit on Jalen Green, and you might have hit on Ahmed Thompson, and you was able to. I'm good.
You real choppy. No, you good right now. You good right now. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you right now. Go ahead.
Okay. But like I'm saying, like a team like the Rockets, like the Rockets, who hit on a lot of their players, right?
Right.
They ain't got out the first round.
Jabari.
Harden left.
Another team that had Chris Paul.
You ain't out the first round yet.
Yeah, bro. Like, and that's like
the Clippers.
No, like what I was saying, like again, like I say that for the people who just like, yo, let's do it. I'm sorry, my bad. I say that for the people who like, let's do it, tear down and trade everyone. I'm like, bro, that don't guarantee anything. You may, even the assets you may get back, it could not be shit. The Pelicans are really in a position to where you kind of have to lean more towards trying to be good and buying versus like having a fire sale, because for one, you don't have that level of like blue chip assets to sell off. You don't have a replacement strategy in place. You're in a bad market, and teams just ain't doing that no more, really. Like, even look at Memphis. Mm-hmm. Memphis got slick side fucked with the Jaren Jackson Jr. shit. They thought they had number 5 pick. 9 could be potentially as low as 6. Well, not as low as 6. It could be as good as 6, as high as 6. That changes the entire dynamic of the fucking deal. Like, it's just tough. Like, you know.
Listen, and this second iteration of Memphis that they had with Bane and Jackson and Ja, there's no guarantee they even get back to that. And I like Memphis organization.
Yeah,
that's a smart organization. Dog. Ja was performing like a top 5 fucking point guard at one point. He was looking like the best PG in the league. And it didn't go well. And now you look at you. It can happen that, dog. You could think you on point, and then Draymond Green punch a player in the face.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that's the thing, bro.
You could be coming off a championship, ready to defend your championship, and Draymond Green punch your young ideal player in the face, and then you gotta move him.
You could be a great team and trade for Kevin Durant because you think he's a missing piece, and everything go to fucking hell. Like, really, that's really why I wanted San Antonio to trade for Kevin Durant, but the Rockets got him, so that's good too. But man, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We're gonna get to y'all starting questions, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Happy Sunday to all y'all. My bad. We got a couple questions for it. Yeah, the Rockets slick side of purgatory unless a men just become awesome. But that's another team. Though I keep saying this to people, like online too. Shout out to Chunk, right? Chunk say Rocky Purgatory. When you look at Reed Shepard, Jabari, Amen, just all these young guys, right? Jalen Green, Sengun. That's the reason why I don't want all them young players, because you gotta develop all these motherfuckers. Even with Chet, if Chet is awesome where he's at. Chet on another team that poured all their resources into Chet becoming like the best he can possibly be, he might look a little different. He got the physical
his
tools. His
responsibility would be different.
Yeah, his responsibility would be different. Like Chet might be a fall out of bed 20-point scorer. Maybe he's not as good defensively.
We ain't even got to go that far. If we draft Zion, and fucking David Griffin say, Zion is your team, we gonna do everything around you.
It look different.
Maybe Zion is like, bitch, I can't afford to be fat. Like I gotta work hard.
I think it would have looked a lot different, bro. Like but so much of that shit is just where you get drafted. I always talk about Reed Shepard, like Reed Shepard looking like a dud. Reed Shepard might not figure it out to his second or third team. Like, and that's the reality when you got that many young players, and it's like all y'all need nurturing, all y'all need minutes, all y'all need this, that, and the third. But if I'm trying to win, I ain't got time for no shooter who can't shoot.
Would you do Trey for like Reed and Jabari?
No, because Jabari just got his money, and Reed gonna want some money.
And you don't believe in the upside there?
Not for Reed, I don't. Because to me, AJ Mitchell is what Reed should be right now. And AJ Mitchell is way better than Reed right now.
Would you do Reed for Castle?
Reed Shepard for Stephon Castle?
I'm sorry. For Castle.
Trey for Stephon Castle?
Yeah.
If I didn't have fears, I probably would do it. Because I don't think them two could play together. Just like I think they're gonna have to get rid of Fox, honestly. All the reason with Dylan Harper, what makes him so special, he's a big motherfucker. He can play 1 through 3. So you ain't really tripping on him. But for Stephon Castle, to me, that motherfucker's a dog. So to me, that's an incline move to me. I think you got a little bit better. Just a little bit. Like I think Trey, of course, has a skill set you desire, but to me, Stephon Castle is younger and cheaper. So I definitely would do that deal. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm just asking. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. I definitely do that. That was a good question. Like, hey, and we talked about Nah, they wouldn't do that. I was about to say if they called you like, yo, hey, y'all want Dylan? We'll give y'all give us Dylan, Derek Queen, and Trey, and we'll give you Dylan. Like, would you do that? Derek Queen and Trey for Dylan in salary?
Ooh, probably.
I think I'd do that as well. That's how much I believe in Dylan Harper.
I think out the like in the beginning, it'll look like you losing in a deal, but I believe in Dylan upside, and depending on what the salary is, like I feel like because salary still got to be.
Yeah, they got to work out. Yeah,
like if hypothetically, if it was Dylan and Vassell for Trey and Queen, I'd do it.
That's a very interesting. I think the Pelicans win that trade going away.
That's
honestly.
what I'm saying.
I think that trade going away. Honestly, yeah. Okay, let's get to the star question, man. Shout out to everybody. Look, Louisiana gal, she came out firing. Look, I'm telling y'all,
she came out with the heat and then chill.
And with Louisiana gal came out firing. Louisiana gal said Trey gets the most back. At the deadline, Sadiq Bey had only gone at 2 second-round picks from the 76ers as an offer. Herb was a bad first in salary filler. Eve could only get a future okay first. I believe all of this. I've heard similar things.
I said the same thing. That's why when people was talking about Eves for Ben Matherin, I'm like, give me fucking Ben Matherin. And I understand that you got to pay Ben Matherin, but I just believed in Ben Matherin's ability for what I thought they wanted to do moving forward, as opposed to Eve's upside. But like, all of this makes sense to me. I think that's kind of similar to what it's going to be in the future anyway.
I think, honestly, I don't think a ton of these deals get much better.
That's what I was there. Like,
yeah, like I don't think, like even with Trey, like we saying that, but these deals never net those same returns. Like they never net what the fans think they should get.
No,
I don't think this is a seller's, a buyer's market. That's why if I'm the Pelicans, I'm looking to buy. Like if I had Trey, I could go buy Jaylen Brown, or I could go buy hypothetically Lauri Markkanen, or some guys who are just like superstar caliber players. I would do that, but I wouldn't be looking to like sell for scratch, because it's like at the end of the day, I'm gonna end up like a real player. Like if they got 17 and 12, you would have to package 17 and 12 together to maybe move up to what, fucking 9, something like that. Then it's like, what's at 9? Do you go get married at 9? Like what? Like I don't know.
For it to make sense, you gotta really like kill the draft. Like if you did something like that, like
home run,
like AJ Mitchell. Like let's say you did AJ Mitchell. I don't know, AJ Mitchell, the Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams, light-skinned Jalen, right? It got like 12 and 17. No, AJ gotta look like second round AJ, and then 12 and 17 gotta become.
You might have to draft at least
12 and 17 both gotta look like Trey moving forward.
I think you gotta have at least your center or prime perimeter player for the future. Like, because I do think that you could draft somebody and they'll be just as good as Trey, if not better. Because shit, you drafted Trey at 17, and they'll be on a rookie scale deal. But
I think Cameron Carr could come again. I think Cameron Carr.
I gotta watch Cameron Carr. I gotta watch Cameron Carr. I haven't seen much of him. He nice like that. How tall? I
think he not gonna give you Trey right now, but I think he can be equivalent to Trey in like a couple years, though.
That's why I would need to know that goal short term. Like if that goal is like, nah, we traded Trey, but we about to also bring in Ja, so we ain't really tripping on that part of it. But we gonna bring Ja in, and then we about to do this, and this. Now, if that was the case, you'd be like, oh, y'all really dropping y'all nuts. Like what's happening?
I'm fucking with it then.
Then they get kind of like, well, see, now you back at an old question. It's like, who's gonna shoot the fucking ball? And then now he's about to shoot this bitch. But
then, you go get you some young again. AJ, you gotta shoot. Isaiah Joe, you gotta shoot. Listen,
depending on where you get them from. Yeah. Depending on where you get them from. Look,
and you ain't about to win no championship right now anyway, or that ain't really ideal. You still another move or 2 or 3.
But hey,
like you still got to solve your center situation.
But see, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of like, I kind of think that philosophy is dying though.
You ain't gonna win?
Yeah, I think that's dying because the most random motherfuckers is going to the finals now, and you just like, the Pacers really like. Because remember that year? Remember Therese had a hamstring or something? You like, Therese, what the fuck? He went from looking like an MVP to looking terrible. This nigga got in the playoffs and turned into fucking Spider-Man. And just went like so often.
He was the most clutch player you had almost ever seen in a player. That bitch was looking like 2018 Brian.
That's why it's like every year, like in the postseason, it's like when you catch the right team down bad, boy, nigga sprain his ankle. You don't know what kind of run you could go on. That's why if I'm the Pelican, I'm like, I want the best team possible no matter what happens, because I catch the wrong motherfucker down bad. He get a concussion, he twists his ankle, hamstring, whatever.
Listen,
bitch, I'm on you. Like,
listen, you lose fuck around, we beat you game one because your best player messed his ankle up last game of the season on some shit. We take game one, and then Giant Z just go crazy at home.
Hey, and that's my whole point, bro. It's like with Detroit started their series 2-0. If I'm not mistaken, if Duncan Robinson don't get hurt and miss a couple of those games, Cam gets sent the fuck home. Like, them bitches going home, and they go home early. But that's the thing. If Orlando, like, bitch, we got you under the gun. Franz don't get hurt, or you don't just shit the bed in the third quarter, you just sent the number one team home. That's why, like, for me, I understand it, but to me, I'm abandoning that philosophy. Like, well, I'm not trying to win a championship anyway. Like, no, anything could happen. Like with Trajan,
no,
people on Trajan because they like, you ain't doing enough. In his mind, he was like, but I wasn't trying to win a championship. I was trying to develop a SAR. That's what he's saying. And people was like, well, nigga, you should have tried to win a championship because you could.
We were the one seed. This could be us right now.
We could have beat them motherfuckers. Like that's why you gotta always go for it. With my man, I cut you off. What you about to say?
No, you good, dog. That's why I'm saying for me, and it sounds like terrorist fucking thoughts. I want like high volatile players. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I want volatility. Like,
you want Jordan Poole.
Dog, when we traded for Jordan Poole, listen. And they don't have to just be like offensively like type players either.
Yeah.
But like Jalen Green, no, imagine if this is highly unlikely, but if you had, let's say you moved Trey for Jalen Green and you did DeJounte or whatever, DeJounte and something for Ja, right? And my lineup is like Ja. I do believe Poole gonna bounce back, to be honest. Contract year, baby, you're gonna get that money.
Yeah,
but
shout out to Poole gonna bounce back. Shout out to Master too.
I think Poole gonna shake back for sure. But your lineup is like Ja, Z, and Jalen Green is like your offense. Dog, if it don't seem like it's gonna make sense, but them bitches could be so like just so dominant and imposing. You'll just be like, you could see a world where they could just go crazy and win a series.
You know what's funny? That'll be a team to me that everybody is like, yo, this is the most fun team in the NBA.
Yes,
but I don't think they'll win a series. And I think I'm saying that's how the media will cover it.
Yeah,
like,
ain't no
they
way.
can't shoot.
Can't shoot.
Like, I can see a weird team like that. But like,
you just need Julie, like you just need your champagne to just start going crazy. Like,
shout out to crazy. The game, I think Trey had a couple games like this. One against the Clippers in the play-in. He said, "What's the game where Trey and Poses will to win?" I'm gonna say against the Clippers in the play-in.
Brandon was going crazy that game too.
Brandon went crazy too to close that game. I would say game 1 versus OKC in the playoffs before they kind of froze them out.
They got walked down.
Yeah, and then I would say at home, Zion was just ruled out at home against Boston. And that's the thing. You wish
they ended up losing that game, I thought.
But they lost the game. But the question, does he impose his will to win? And it's like, well, the Pelicans don't win a lot.
No, his will to a win.
Oh, to a win. It have to be like Clippers, Wizards, some shit like that. Like even with the Bucks game, second Bucks game, motherfucker had like 40 something.
He got some good games in there, though.
Yeah, and it just didn't work out. Like they just end up losing. I think that's more of a testament of the team versus him. But to the answer, but see, also to answer that question, it's like that ain't really who Trey role is. Like Trey is supposed to be really.
Trey's supposed to be like a 3, man, though.
But it's like that's really Zion's job.
And you see Zion, listen, and to Zion's credit, that's why I say before this year, Zion has provided evidence of, like
he did a couple times this year as well.
Yeah, Z, you remember Z first game back against Minnesota what was that? What was that last year?
Not after the cup shit, huh?
I don't no.
Oh, it's when he did the windmill dunk with
no, just off the still. Like Z be having moments throughout seasons. Well, like, I went back and watched. This was like years ago now, but like the Z game at home against Minnesota, when that motherfucker went for 40 something. It just was a awesome. Menace,
yeah,
bro.
That's the thing. It's like with you talk about high variance and volatility. It's like it's too much of that. It's like with even like what I mean more so is, you know what? I'm gonna reverse my statement. It's not enough of it. Like with Zion, you gotta have some games where you like he shot the ball 30 times tonight. That motherfucker went from. With Zion, it's like, no, I'm getting these 16, 17.
Yeah.
I'm a guarantee for at least 23 points a night. Unless something weird happened, I gotta leave. It's like, no, I need some high variance. Like with Trey, one thing I will say about Zion and Trey though is like they ain't gonna lead a game. They ain't gonna put them in donuts. That's something I will say because that I can't respect. I can't respect like motherfucker go out there.
The Chet shit,
like the Chet shit, the
2 shots.
Some of the shit that BI's done in the past. I just. No,
I do think when it matters, you'll see Z and Trey play like it matters. Like in the play-in, you saw Z being like, "Fuck these dudes. Whatever I gotta do to try and get it done, I'ma do it." And just look like the best player on the floor.
I think Ken summed this up perfectly, right? Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. He said, Trey really a third option, but Zion a low-level 1 option. So that means we need a high-level 2nd option on the team. I can agree with that. I think until Zion proves to be a surefire 1A or at least a high-level 1B, then everything under him is like it's not a rising tide.
I'm operate moving forward. Z is a 2. Like
that's
our 1.
Yeah,
but like okay, Z is a 2, and it's fine for Z to be a 2. You just gotta find your 1.
Yeah, or you gotta just have a awesome team.
A team full of
like awesome 3s and 4s and 2, like
the Pistons team that won the championship, like Chauncey Billups and Sheed and Ben and
like I'm trying to think. The number 2 on that team might have been
Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, it might have been Rip. So it's like shout out to Super Shop. He say if we would have traded for Jaylen Brown, would that make Brown our number 1 option? Zion become a 2? Yeah, I think Brown is undoubtedly the number 2.
How old is JB?
I think JB 26, 27.
Say, dog, listen, he's young enough to where you could do that. Security.
Hold on.
If he like 28, I mean 28.
He might be 28. Let me see. No, he's 30.
Jaylen Brown 30?
Jaylen Brown 30. Boy, 96. So he just turned 30. Well, he'll be 30 this year. He's 29, making 30.
Do that change anything for you?
No. Not at all.
What your window is? Well, if you trade for him, you all in anyway.
Yeah, if I trade for him, my window's to the end of his contract. So
he got 2 years left.
4 years, and then I might bring him back. Maybe because my thing is always like fuck I'm gonna do. Like even with Donovan Mitchell, I was listening to Brian Windhurst, and I would not do this deal. Bushes, I would not do this deal. Ron Holland is like borderline unplayable. And Duncan Robinson, you can find Duncan Robinson working at motherfucking Whataburger.
Yeah.
And they first ain't gonna be worth nothing. So it's like,
yeah.
But what I was saying for us, Jaylen Brown, man, Jaylen Brown's phenomenal, just a phenomenal player.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And he's been available. And that's the thing. It's like, even that's where the age conversation kind of get like, because you could be 22 and just not available. Like you could.
What do you think it would take to trade for Jaylen Brown? from us? Like, what do you think it would take? Because it's not even about what it would take. I'm just thinking what would be left. So, like,
I think you could keep. I think you could keep Fears and Zion and Sadiq Bey in trade for him.
Okay.
But see, it's also about like what would y'all really want? Like as far as like play style, it's like Trey makes sense. I don't think Queen makes a ton of sense.
Eves makes sense for them.
Eve makes sense, but it's like you got such
a
fire starting guy right now. Well, what up with your offer? Now they might be interested in DeJounte if they're like really like if that trend continues, but it would be tough. They would have to really like DeJounte.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what it boils down to. They would have to really, or they would have to be like, bro, Jordan Poole gave us the fucking blues.
And he did.
We
could unlock Poole. We could.
Yeah, we know what it takes to play Poole.
I'll tell you what. I firmly believe if you put Poole on that roster in that play style in fucking Boston, that boy will go back to looking like Golden State JP.
I ain't gonna lie. The problem with Jordan Poole he ain't been playing on no teams with no real expectations or coaching in place. Like you just said, you put Jordan Poole on a real team with some real direction and real barriers. Man, that dude again. Because, bro, that dude he ain't just forget how to play. Like that dude, the talent is astronomical.
Yeah.
Man, that dude would fit. Honestly, he would fit Boston perfectly.
Yes.
Because all they want to do is shoot threes anyway.
Man, that boy come out there and you know he getting them moments where you can't stop him.
Yeah, like that dude on the like Jeremiah Fez had 40, Poole had like 35.
Yeah.
But the highlight was like, it's the Jazz, but it's like again, you got some people in the Pelicans, they can't score 40 in the empty gym. So
Poole people say what they want. Poole was still the third or fourth leading scorer on this fucking team, not even playing. Like you still.
Yeah, I think there are some teams that look at that and say that's an expiring. I could probably make this work. He just need a different role. He on my system.
They brought in Anthony Simons, and I guarantee you they're probably regretting letting Anthony Simons walk
for Vucevic.
Yeah,
but I think Jaylen Brown would have to be that much of a problem, and they would have to love they have to love these like couple of your guys. And you probably give them like 4 or 5 picks. Okay. Well, maybe. Look, honestly, if it came down to it, I probably would do it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was on the table, I think you would.
If they said, "Give me Poole, DeJounte, and 4 firsts," like, all right.
Why wouldn't he?
Ooh, they would never do that. But look. Bro, look, it would be like Scream. The way I'm on the phone, then the next thing you hear is I'm at the fucking door. Like, yo.
Dang, I'm here for Jaylen Brown right now.
We're gonna drive back.
We flew the plane right up to the door.
Right. Look, boy, I'll do that. ASAP. Look, shout out to Fuchs. He said Ryan Howard only 20. Yeah, but see, Ryan is like
he like a worse herd.
Yeah, he like a worse herd.
And he got pick number 5.
So that's the thing too, and that's a great point you made, Al. It's like you gotta pay him like he's the 5th pick. Like,
no, if he come out next year and have a decent year, boy.
Even right now, it's like you probably getting replacement level. This is his 2nd year, if I'm not mistaken, right? This past year. So you probably getting like replacement level play. He couldn't play in the postseason, and you paying him like $8 million or something like that for being the 5th pick.
He came out with Castle on them, didn't he?
No, well, I forgot what year Castle
came out with Reed.
So did he come? I think Ryan Howland came out with Sarr. I
think did Castle come out with all of them? Castle's in his 2nd year.
Stephon Castle not in his 2nd year, is he?
No, he was rookie of the year. Vic won rookie of the year. He and Will 3. Then Stephon Castle last year was rookie of the year, and this year they drafted Dylan.
I could have sworn he came out with SAR. I just don't remember what year Castle
was last year too.
Because I never even fucking heard of Castle prior to him balling out of control.
Nah, I remember him fucking dominating that UConn.
Oh, see, I never even heard, because I don't watch UConn. I never even fucking heard of Castle.
Yeah, he was there with him.
Yeah, this Castle's second year. Yep. So they all came out together. So yeah.
That means Trajan smart ass passed on him.
Trajan sucks, honestly. But like the thing with Holland just ain't got.
Imagine real shit. Imagine if Cade had Castle.
See, I don't know. I think it would still be nice because Cade's such a big player that Castle like 6'6", so they could complement one another. But I think it would take away from Castle something.
No, I'm saying Holland is unplayable. Like we
talking about. Oh, you mean just from a talent standpoint?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Holland, nah.
No, but defensively, fucking Asar, Castle.
Yeah, that's another team.
Ooh,
and I think Holland is an incredible defender. I just think offensively, he ain't got no signs of being a good offensive player. Like going over his numbers, it's like
I ain't lying, boy. Trajan better. Okay.
If Detroit go out bad next season, he officially gone. Like they're already talking about Trajan bad. It's really gonna be a problem.
Let him go ahead and give Duran that money, and Duran don't perform.
See, I just don't believe. I got to go look at Holland's college tape. I just don't believe in drafting guys like this high. Honestly,
Holland wasn't in college. Holland was a G League player, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of the last dudes off the D League team.
Yeah,
like the Scoop team, if I'm not mistaken.
His numbers look bad. They look very bad. He's a strong rebounder, I guess, but for such a low usage guy, like I don't know. He's a hell of a defender, but if I want to say there's any hope for him on offense, I'll say this: he shoots 80% from the free throw line, right? So that's the indicator that at some point he will be able to shoot decently from beyond the arc. But he's averaging less than 2 free throws a game, 8 points, less than a block a game, averaging 1.2 steals, 1.2 assists, 4 rebounds. Like solid young role player, but not what I would spend a 5th pick on. But people didn't like that draft. That was one of them drafts to where you really had to have your scout, like Trajan duck ass with the 2020 draft, like Kyra Lewis. Like, no disrespect to Kyra Lewis, but like Kyra Lewis, like, bitch, what was you scouting? Like, man, Trajan's so fucking trash.
Man, according to Griff, we ain't never missed, but okay.
Man, motherfucker, boy, I was about to say the wrong thing. But yeah, man, shout out to Holland. I hope he bounces back. I just don't see how Holland would help the Pelicans at all, especially if you got Peavy. Like, yeah. But you'll be counting on Holland taking a major offensive leap. But Louisiana girls say lately it's been open dialogue. I think it's a 55% chance Trey gets moved. Most they got offered at the deadline was 2 OK first. Sound like the offers are greater. So if you got offered 2 OK first, then potentially you looking at 1 good first, maybe one good first.
I don't think like 55%. I think like gun to their head. I think they decide no.
Keep them.
And be like, I'm gonna just roll into. If the deal's not amazing, I think they just roll into the season with what they have, but I think they just pivot to something else and see what else might be out there, or revisit during the season or something like that.
I think also if they do draft somebody, it got to be an immediate impact player. I think the dude Brazil, I think he could be an impact guy.
You got to get back in the draft first,
and then you got to get back in the draft. But also, I think if they've been watching a Cuff, because it's hard not to watch a Cuff because he's been so great. If they've been watching a Cuff, then you definitely been seeing Brazili. And I think like the way Anthony Black talks about that guy, the way a Cuff talk about him, like that dude is cold. I know you and your partner Mike really put us on to him. Say Sarge 3 years older than Holland, but that's another reason why I probably wouldn't have drafted Asar like that. I don't believe in drafting non-offensive players, though, because I need you to be solid defensively and really good offensively. Like, because Asar, again, the minute that athleticism saps and he can't give me a solid 12, 13 points, it's like, all right, now I got to bench you because nobody guarding you out there.
Now I got to bench you.
Like, Holland was great defensively all season, but it's like, nah, I got to bench it because nobody guarding
y'all lost y'all position to a two-way dude. Jenkins was like more viable than
all that motherfucker was cold. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he was a
find by
dog.
Trajan. That was a good find by Trajan.
Yeah,
Louisiana gotta say, I would like to say that the deal floated around last night after OKC lost per my clutch source, but I don't know exactly what Joe was looking for in a trade. Shout out to Clutch. You know what I heard?
It's not surprising.
I heard Joe got a good relationship with Rich Paul.
I bet he does. Though, listen, I think if 12 netted you Mara and Cam Carr.
Shout out to Cole.
Like,
say that again. If 12 and 17 netted you Mara and Cam Carr,
yes,
that's a hefty return.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you ended up, let's say the draft worked out for you that way, right? And then you ended up getting Isaiah Joe, AJ Mitchell. You sitting there looking at it like, and a future first.
I probably would, depend if it was the Dallas future first, then I'd definitely be like, I'm listening, because I don't want none of y'all bullshit future first. I want that Dallas future first, because now I got a Milwaukee first and a Dallas first. I can send one of these bitches away, or I can send one of my first away and go get Ja. And I can maneuver it like that. But somebody say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that. I ain't gonna lie. Listening to that, I know they're young players, but I think your team would get a lot better. I think your team would get a lot better overall.
Drew say, okay, see a fraud, sold my parlay. Boy, that's why I had to stop gambling, boy. Look, I tell you,
anytime I bet money on something, you heard me, I was hurting.
No, you will never watch a player closer than when you bet on that motherfucker. You be like, look at this stupid motherfucker. He got them dumbass shoestrings, and he never played good with them fucking shoestrings. Stupid ass nigga. Oh my God. Look at the tape coming off his finger. That's why he can't shoot. Boy, you be fucking furious. Your calls and your chance. What you think about Trey and the organization ain't liking him? I haven't heard that.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I don't believe they dislike him.
I don't think Joe care either way.
Yeah, I think Joe kind of like, well, if you want to be here, we're gonna figure this out. If you don't want to be here, let me know and we'll figure that out. But I think Trey, from what I'm told, bro, Trey approaching the offseason business as usual. Yes. Like, I ain't asking out. If you trade me, I ain't really tripping, but I ain't asking. But I will say it's more smoke.
And that's the issue. And that's the issue, though.
Like, because you think like he not professing his commitment is the issue?
I think I
don't know that he is or isn't, but
like, for example, what Joe was saying about like Z. You hear Z all the time. I want to be here, regardless of whatever people feel about it. I want to be here. You heard Mosley. That was their guy, but Mosley was like, man, we wanted. He didn't have to come to New Orleans. Like, regardless of whatever you feel about it, that dude could have chilled and
chill with that money. I'll take my money.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, that's evidence of a guy who wants to be in a place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I just look at it when you think about players like and as a player too, it's only so much you really can say.
Yeah.
Because
and it's a temperament thing. It's like you might just not be that type of person.
Yeah, you could get traded at any moment. But at the same time, it's kind of like Trey ain't never just been like, man, I love the city. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't never just been his demeanor to me.
I ain't gonna lie, I've never like really watched a Trey interview. So I don't know what he said. I'll say this. I know Trey and Mr. Kenny, and like they care about winning. They want to win.
Yes.
They want to win. And
That's
it's
what
like,
matters.
and the thing with players, I'm not saying this about Trey. I'm saying this generally. Sometimes players don't look at it as a failure on themselves. They might look at it as an organizational failure. When teams don't win. And it's like, again, I don't know this is happening with Trey, but I know that historically they haven't been very happy with Willie Green and the staff. And you kind of get to a point where, like, Borrego body ain't cold yet. So that stench of the history with the team is probably still floating.
I think it's only so much. I agree. It's kind of like when Griff came in and was like, you know what, now I'm good. Like I don't really care. We got number one pick. I'm straight.
Anthony Davis a funny nigga because I was watching the Anthony Davis interview the other day, and AD, you know, I kind of like AD. You know why I know? Because AD, I admire a nigga who lied like that. You're like, Anthony, stop. And look, you know, he feels like
he feels slightly played.
Like he like, man, I would
give me no tribute.
Yeah, I would go back, but they probably not even gonna accept me. Like I know he feels that way because like just hearing him talk about it, he like, man, that was the best basketball of my career, honestly.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I think deep down, like obviously he loved playing with Brian. Yeah. But like, I think if he could, like after he won his chip, he probably prefer to be big fish, small pond. Yeah. Than the expectations of Lakerland.
I think honestly, Anthony Davis would love to come back. I think
take him too.
Especially if he thought the team was kind of gonna be good too. I think he'd be like,
let me go finish my career over there.
And look, fans talk all that shit. Anthony Davis catch one alley. People are like, oh my God, he's back. He catch one alley. The Brown is back in the booth.
Let's say this is a hypothetical, but an extreme circumstance, right?
Right.
Let's say next year, I think it's gonna be easier to make the playoffs next year than any year before because of the draft.
Me too.
But let's say AD, let's say you make the playoffs, you win around. Hypothetically, you win around.
Right.
Right. AD say I won't come back. They actually bring him back. Who you think get announced last? AD or Z?
Zion. Like if I went to the playoffs and won a round, it's like, nigga, look, the only way they'll do that because Zion don't really care about shit like this is if Zion was like, you can get announced last, bro, or let's announce him last. Because to me, and this is where, like, honestly, I don't think Joe them really give a fuck if somebody wants to be here or not. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like all business, and I think Joe's like a cold, callous businessman. Yeah, he been in that league. He been in that league office. Like they announced DeJounte last one time when he came back, and I'm like, boy, what the fuck?
I was at the game. I'm like.
So if it's like,
I gotta make sure I'm at the next game to make sure this ain't normal.
I was doing a live show. I was like, I know I'm on PCP. If they announce this brother, like, ain't no way in the fucking universe. And we know DeJounte don't want to be in the world. So it's like, I think if the concessions were made, they for a guy that didn't want to be here, if Shea was like, I want to be here, but I want to win, I think they'd be like, all right, then we gonna win.
Or
it's like, all right, look, we want you here and we want to win too, but we ain't turning down no full first. I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, I think he'll say that as well. He'll say that as well. Bird talks in 10 years. Yeah, bro. I think them fucking rebuilds take time, dog. You're in a really bad market, bro. You're in a really bad market. Yeah.
Even good markets have bad rebuilds. The Lakers
The Lakers.
the Lakers went on a fucking decade-long tank.
The Clippers haven't done anything, bro. Like the Clippers, the Lakers,
and you
the
got
Kings
players
in a good market.
Bro, the most the Clippers got out of all of this was one Western Conference Finals where you lost to the Suns.
Like, dog, after the Bulls never really got good again. After it was Jordan bad, Derrick Rose, then Derrick got hurt bad, and it's been bad ever since. Yeah. After Golden State bad right now with no pathways really to be good. Once Steph retire, they're gonna be bad.
Listen, when Steph lays hang them up, woo, you know Steve out of there.
Oh yeah, he should be out of there right now.
But
Draymond should be out there too. But yeah, like dog, the Knicks been trashed forever.
Yeah, bro. The Knicks got 20. No, they only made the playoffs twice with Melo. So before that,
and once Spotify broke his hand or some shit, punched the fire extinguisher.
No, you got 20 years of Knicks being bad pretty much before Brunson got done.
Like dog, like it really. That's why I say, bro, there's no shout out to Yaya Cole and Baskerville Sniper in the building. It's like, bro, shout out to Jonathan. Yeah, man, we're on the star question now, Jonathan. It's like there's really no right way to do shit, bro. A lot of that shit is luck and just keep chipping away. Chipping away. And every little.
Yeah. That's how the Knicks did it. Shout out to the Knicks. They got Brunson and was like, this motherfucker cold. Then you hit on RJ Barrett and was like, all right, RJ, okay. Quickly, he's okay. But then you start moving. You made one move at it. Okay, let me bring in Dante. Shit, let me swing for OG. Shit, let me get Julius Randle in here. Like mid-tier people, and then you go up from there.
The last time Orlando made the finals, Dwight Howard was the best center in basketball. Dwight Howard and Andrew Bynum, I think.
2011? Was that the 11 champion? No, in 2010.
It must, it's probably like 10.
That was Kobe. It was Kobe's first championship after they lost 2009.
And then before that, what was it? Fucking Shaq and Penny. It's like, dog, Shaq. These things take time. Like that's why, like people look. And now you can do it quickly if you hit here and there, but they still take time. Somebody said, what would this team be if they got Brown and Tatum instead of BI and company? Tough to say because you still would have had David Griffin, but I think Tatum is a freak of nature. I think Tatum a freak of nature. Official Rampage say, would you trade Trey for 5 second-round picks in the player? Sure, if the player is Shea. like who's the player? Like if it's like fucking Shea, look, if it's Shea, I'll give you the 5 second round picks. like who the player?
Yeah, of course, if it's Joker.
Yeah, like you just said,
like Trey for Anthony, Trey in 5 seconds for Anthony Edwards, huh? Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know what I'll say? You know what? Just give me 1 second. Just give me. I don't need the second. Like, why the fuck not?
For you, I got it, dog.
Yeah, for you, since you're my man's, I fucked with you. Let's do it. That's just the problem with Trey is he's soft, he's terrible on defense, plain and simple. I know you say that about a few guys, honestly. As far as on court play. Nando said I can already tell PELS going to trade Trey for 12, 17, and 2 players, then move up into the top 10. So if you consolidate 12 and 17 and move up, I'm trying to think probably to Dallas at 9 or some shit like that. Your guy better be there, and that guy better
I'm not
be
going up. If I get 12 and 17, no lie, I ain't going up. I think they got
2 players.
Unless the only way I'm going up from 12 and 17 is if like one, if I could get high enough to get one of the guys, right? Like, or if somehow my player fell, like you said, my player better be there. Like somehow my guy fell somewhere, and I'm like, all right, fuck, I got to. But honestly, I prefer 12. I think the variance from like 8 to 17, I think you could get everything you need in that same range. So I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know about trading up 2 years in a row. I would have like the guy I'm going to get would have to be an animal. I'd rather give myself 2 shots at it personally.
You know what I do? You know what I'd be willing to do? If like, let's say I'm at 12, I take whoever I want at 12, and then I'm about to double back at like 14. I gotta maybe give up my second or something. I'd probably swing my second to go back up to 14. If I think somebody gonna take my other player right before me, I'd be willing to like trade up like that, like a small trade up.
The second so late, I don't even know if that would get you up to 14 though.
I don't think so either, but I'm just using
it as a hypothetical.
Like if we talking about like instead of getting top 10, if I could get like if I take 12 and then hey, my player gonna be at 15, your player at 17. We'll throw in some cash considerations. Let's make this shake.
And look, of course, you could do more than one deal also, but this still puts you in a weird position roster-wise and cap-wise if you the Pelicans, because 14 and 12, that's guaranteed money right there. And you traded for 2 guys. So shit, you all in total, you could be paying out more than Trey. But you got some young cost control assets. Louisiana guess that there is a reason to trade Trey. Keep Zion. Zion is openly asked to stay. Trey has been on the back end signaling to everyone he's open to being moved. Hey. And look, I mean, this is a new regime. And it's funny because Zion at one time, them niggas ain't have Zion phone number. One time, you couldn't get in touch with Zion. I'm talking about like Griffin.
Yeah,
it's funny. I think you know what's funny too. I don't know this, but I wonder if I think Zion really loved New Orleans and not like necessarily the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans just happen to be in New Orleans.
Yeah,
but I've been told like from people who know Zion, they're like, "Nah, Zion fucking New Orleans heavy." Like Zion do a lot of shit like for the city on the low.
I could believe that though.
He probably a lot of friends and partners and shit like that. Yeah. Michael Morgan say, what would the Pelicans do at the center position? I think they bring in another guy, but I think right now they semi-comfortable starting Eve if they can secure the rest of the positions.
I think the other positions kind of take precedent, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in another big man.
Well, we're gonna end it on this one, right? Say, where does Trey rank amongst all number 2 options in the NBA this year?
You want to answer that first? My answer is I got it at the bottom.
I think, man, I hate to say this, but I think a part of that is, look, everybody got to stand on their own, but I think what helps the number 2 options if you got an awesome number 1 option. And I think them as a duo, talent-wise, maybe mid-teens, but I got them at the bottom of the league just based on the deliverables as Zion and Trey as 1 and 2 options. I think I got them near the bottom of the league.
Let me ask you this. The 49 win season when BI went out and it was Trey, Z, and CJ. Was CJ the number 2 or was Trey the number 2?
CJ.
Okay.
I think CJ. I think Trey only
because Trey was going crazy during that stretch too.
Yeah. I think Trey caps out as a number 3 guy. I think Trey only a number 2. Zion was just so phenomenal. Like he had a run where he was really phenomenal. So it's like if he not gonna be phenomenal at 1, that lowers the waters for how high Trey can rise as well. I think that then Trey will cap out as a 3.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Yeah.
Z was on some crazy.
Yeah, Zion had some crazy games during that period. Like, for example, I don't even know who the fuck the number 2 option would be in that play-in game versus the Lakers. I don't even because CJ didn't play well. I don't remember Trey playing well, really.
No.
I just remember
Z was balling. B.I. got benched. Yeah. Z was going crazy. Like they got down like 20, and then Z turned like fuck y'all, really turned it on. And then real late in the game, I think CJ might have hit a couple shots.
He had a couple of big buckets, but
that's
the thing. That's it's rare that you got a number 2 like that's close to the number 1. Because honestly, J-Dub not close to Shea.
No.
Like Tatum and Brown, like right here, but and Kyrie and Luka, like Kyrie is phenomenal, but at this age, he's not really that close to Luka.
No,
like
I would love to use them, but I got Trey. If Trey
make a lot of sense.
If we looked at Trey just as a number 2, Jose was balling that game.
Yeah, Jose had a good game. That game.
Yeah, he's the only one out there fighting. If
that's a shame.
If I just look at Trey as a 2, let's just say isolated as a 2.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? 30 teams in the league?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna probably rank what Willie ranked. I'm not gonna say like the very bottom, but like I gotta take damn near every playoff team, right? At least almost. So real quick, we'll run through it. Like if you look at Shea, that's either J-Dub,
yeah,
Sengun, because I would say KD the one.
Yeah, I would say Sengun. He's Sengun's better. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck Boston, not Boston, Detroit. Do they have a 2? Who's they 2?
I think Duran. You have to say Duran had a much better year. I think Trey is individually better, but I think Duran had a phenomenal year. So I can't go to Trey.
Yeah, Duran, Paulo or Franz, however you see that.
Yeah, how you see that.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, just Mobley. You think he better than Mobley?
This year, probably, yeah. Mobley had a fucking awful year. He was awful, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he was so bad. Like, people talk about Chet. Mobley was just as bad. Like, Mobley had a terrible year. I would just say this year. I wouldn't say he's head and shoulders better than Mobley. I would say he was better than. But Mobley was their second option. It was either gonna be Garland or.
You got Garland above. You got Trey above Garland.
No, I got Garland above Trey.
Oh, I mean, obviously, Cat.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you get BI.
I think BI is the primary option, but
so Scotty Barnes.
You know what? I would. To me, I would say Scotty. It depends, because I don't. I think Trey and Brandon in the same tier, but I'm gonna take a pass on that one because I don't.
Julius Randle.
No, this year probably but no.
I don't know.
I think there's a number of teams I can go through which Trey would be their second best offensive player. Charlotte, Dallas probably, because Kyrie didn't play, but Dallas, Detroit, shit, maybe Cleveland with the way old boy look right now. Yeah, it might be over James, but yeah, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Trey might be there. He might be. Yeah, he would probably be second best. Because I would put Sabonis as their best offensive guy. Memphis. There's a lot of teams where Trey would be like the second best guy.
I'm gonna just say
those teams are good. Like if they were a good team, then that changes the question a little bit. Like
like him being your second best get you what? Exactly?
I think Trey better than VJ today, but VJ is a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think he would have. I think as far as Atlanta, I'm not sure because CJ's still really good.
Yeah. When you really look, Jamal Murray.
No, Jamal Murray had a phenomenal season. Jamal Murray had a phenomenal regular season. But honestly, I think so much of it is about who the number one was with them guys. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
And some of it is just like there is no true number two option. Like Charlotte, like Miles Bridges not really the number two option. There's like that whole team was just like really good.
Yeah, everybody. Well, Brandon Miller's the number two.
And he always hurt.
Is either him or LaMelo, and LaMelo ain't.
Yeah, Trey better than Brandon Miller.
You think so?
Brandon Miller never played. I think Brandon Miller is who we thought Ace was going to be out the gate. As far as like, there's going to be a lot of problems. I don't think. To me, Brandon Miller, maybe it's the injuries, but he
be hurt a lot.
He is not an impressive player like I thought he was about to be. Because he a motherfucker hit the ground running as a rookie. And once he started getting hurt, though, it was like, all right. Because I thought that dude was about to be one of the guys. And that's early in his career. He still probably will be.
I'll say this. I have high expectation for Trey. I would love to see I would love to see Mosley work with Zion. I would love to see what Trey will look like this year because I think we're gonna get a lot better coaching and a lot more structure. So I hope they don't necessarily punt on the idea of Trey being here moving forward. At the same time, I will say, like, again, like you've been bad the last 2 seasons. So like, and again, that's is more than just Trey's fault. Yeah, like I'm just, and again, I'm not like, at least with Chet, again, that's why I say this, and this will be my last name. But at least with Chet, now granted, Chet got the money, but I know Chet defensively can really turn games for you. Like he got, and I know Trey offensively could do it, but like I feel like offense is easier to produce in the league, if that makes sense. Like I think it's just easier to find dudes to go score the ball as opposed to finding
all NBA caliber defender.
Yeah, all NBA 7 foot. Just you can at least try to do something about it.
Yeah, I think generally what decision they make or don't make will kind of tell you what direction they want to go in. I think if Trey not traded, it's because the offers wasn't great.
Yeah,
I think if he is traded, it would be. I think if he is traded and it's not for like a really good trade, that signals that a tear down would be more so on the horizon.
Okay.
So we're gonna see. But man, shout out to everybody in the building. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't already. Make sure y'all subscribe to PELS and the Blender, man. I'm gonna chop this episode up, put this out. So if something else happens, man, we'll talk about it. Been hearing a lot of smoke. We'll see what comes to realization. Man, I hope the Pelicans get a pick. If they get a pick, I'd probably go to Summer League.
If we draft somebody solid, I'm for sure gonna go. Right now, I'm on the fence because I do want to see year 2 Fizz and year 2 Queen.
You think Fizz playing the Summer League?
Absolutely, 1000%. That dude took 5 losses last year in Summer League. Bitch, you gotta go get some get back. And y'all bet not go out there and lose.
Man, I'm scared.
I ain't gonna lie. Like who don't need to play Summer League, and they probably will anyway. Like, you think VJ need to play Summer League?
VJ Ashcombe?
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
No. But them, I think after like 5, or really after like 4, all y'all be playing the Summer League. But the big box office dudes 1 through like 3. Yeah. Like, I don't think Ace gonna play in Summer League.
Cooper might not play. Dylan probably not playing Summer League. Like Dylan, bitch, I'm off the finals. I'm rusted. I ain't got time to be at Summer League.
Fucking Summer League. I just finished playing basketball Fears might play. Honestly, I don't want them dudes to play because I don't want nobody to get no weird phony injury that you got to nurse. And I ain't gonna learn nothing from summer league. Like
they normally give you 1 or 2 games of your year 2 guys. I need Fears to I need Fears and DQ for 1 or 2 games to look significantly better than everybody out there. And if you don't, I'm gonna be nervous. I don't care who get drafted.
I ain't gonna be nervous about Fears, but I don't need to see DQ in summer league, honestly. Because I think for some players, I don't think summer league really compliments them. B. Penton said DQ would look so bad in summer league. I think summer league really for like the super athletes and like the quick downhill guys or the shooters. I don't think nothing DQ does is like really a summer league game. But because I already know DQ is like an NBA player. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen him do his thing in the NBA. Same thing with Fears. It's like, it would be nice, but it's like, man, look, I don't need to see this. Whatever rookies y'all about to get, let the rookies run this shit. Like, let the rookies
No, I agree with you to a degree. At the same time, sometimes when you if let's say you play basketball and you a sophomore that's on the varsity, you know, on the weekends when they be like, son, you come into the JV tournament and you go play JV and you go shit, man, you go play JV and just be feeling like an all-star. I gotta go ahead that moment. Like, say, yeah, I'll come to the playoffs.
I'm
telling you.
It depends, because if this draft is as good as people say it is,
it's supposed to be competitive anyway.
I think no amount of time you spent in the league versus these rookies, if this draft is supposed to be like it is, and you go out there against AJ, whoever you go out there against, I think them dudes gonna bust them dudes' ass. Like, if they really supposed to be that cold, like I think AJ, Darren, all of them, I think, because the Pelicans, we ain't got like no big wings or nothing. I think them dudes gonna smoke the Pelicans' boots anyway. So
you better listen. And if you get the game, for example, if you get the game, PV better go play summer league.
That's the type of dude I want playing the summer league.
Yeah, PV better play summer league. But like, if I'm Fizz and my matchup is A-Cuff, like it's me versus A-Cuff,
I can see that.
You gotta swing that belt.
It is interesting. I just don't know, because Fizz done had 40 in the NBA game. So
and A-Cuff gotta get. You ain't gotta go give him 40, but it just gotta, like, for example, when Fizz came into the league and their first summer league game was against Minnesota, and you had to see Rob, right? Like, I don't think anybody would say Rob Dillingham is a better player than Jeremiah Fizz.
Might not get many to say he's an NBA player right now.
But in that summer league game, Rob, it was Fizz's first game. He looked okay. I'm saying, if I'm Fizz and they be like, ooh, we're gonna get the point guard, like one of the top PGs from last year against one of the top PGs from this year. Like, you gotta let the young dude know, like, oh, this is what it's like coming into the league, buddy.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't think
a lot of them dudes older than Fizz anyway. He's still a young boy.
Yeah, he's 20. So I think I think the only person I really want to see in summer league is Micah Peavy.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't think if y'all look good or bad, I'm gonna take nothing away from it. Like, Eve had a terrible summer league, but I thought he had a solid season. So it's like,
Eve don't need to go back.
Third year is crazy. Like, that's Austin Rivers shit. But shout out to Austin Rivers. But yeah, man, we're gonna close down here. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Y'all have a safe, blessed week. And we out. Shit. Peace.